CUTV is proud to present its first ever coverage of the PSAC Track and Field Finals. Here from Adamson Stadium, the 2006 Finals. Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith, as we bring you the first ever PSAC Track and Field Finals, Scotty. And it could be a better day, but there's a lot of athletes from all 14 of the state schools, and it appears Shippensburg is a team to beat, at least on the men's side.
Yes, like you said, it is cold out here. With someone to warm me up. But Shippensburg has won the last 3 PSAC championships, and they're looking to do it again. And there's some key events that they're going to excel in. But there's also some key events that other teams will excel in, like the 100, the 400, the 1,500 meter, and the 3,000 meter steeplechase. That's right. We got the steeplechase coming up for you guys. And in the 3,000 steeplechase, we have Chris Robinson, who is from Lock Haven. He looks to be the strong one in that race. The 1,500 meter, we have Corey Spidell from Lock Haven. And in the 400 meter, we have our very own from California University of Pennsylvania, Brad Rager, who's looking to go for a meet record. And he ran 47.32 in the preliminaries, and he's looking to increase that time to hopefully get that record. Yeah. Also in the 100 meter, we have Silas Weasley from Cheney, and he's not the fastest man in the world, but he will be the fastest man here today.
Yeah, for a lot of these events, remember all these men and women ran yesterday in preliminaries to get to here. So hopefully the cold weather won't affect them as much, because it was much warmer yesterday. Stephanie, let's take a look at the women's side. There hasn't really been a dominant team like Shippensburg or Kutztown before them on the women's side, but last year's defending champion is looking to make a strong appearance this year as well.
Yeah, Slippery Rock has won the last year's outdoor championships and this year's indoor championships, so they are heavily favored to win again. But also Lock Haven, again, a very good team, always very good, and Kutztown will also be very good this year. But for Cal, they have a big setback because they have scored no points so far this year, and their Danielle Melee she was become very ill, and she was supposed to run 5 races for the team, and that she can't do it. It's going to hurt the Vulcans a lot.
Well, we're expecting to cover a lot of different events here, obviously a lot of the different track events, but we're also going to bring you coverage as much as we can of the different field events. If you watched the Olympics last year, NBC ain't got nothing on us. The PSAC Track and Field Outdoor Championships are next, right here on CUTV.
I'll be ready to go in a minute.
Take your time. A vacuum. You like that, don't you? All right. Thirsty now, ain't you? Little Pepsi. Oh, man. Your vacuum cleaner ate my pants. There's nothing I could do.
Nothing chases chips like a Pepsi. It's the cola.
I think I'm pregnant. I never thought this could happen to me. What do I do now?
We can help at the Alternative Pathway Pregnancy Center.
You have options. Get the facts.
Do you know the morning after pill can have side effects?
You're probably confused right now. I'll explain your options so you can make an informed decision. It's your choice. Make a decision that you can live with for the rest of your life.
Welcome back to Adamson Stadium and the 2006 PSAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships here on CUTV. Ben Slazek with Scott Flugler and Stephanie Smith, and our first event of the day is actually underway, and it's one of the longer events you'll see all day long. It's the women's 5,000 meter run, and guys, that's a couple trips around the track, is it not?
Oh yeah, but you'll get your workout and you'll see a good race. People will start out with different strategies. Some like to lead in the beginning, some like to stay at the back of the pack. Then you make your kick whenever you feel like it. But you're gonna see about a 17-minute race right about here, and just sit back and relax and see some good running.
21 entries in this event, and the favorite appears to be Edinburgh's Julie Nemergut, who's ranked 6th in the NCAA Division II in this event. Her best time, 17:04:06. And we take a look out there, and there seems to be 2 distinct packs. And you said, Steph, that there's 2 strategies. Either get out front early, work from there, or save yourself for the end.
Yeah, oftentimes people will like to stay in the middle of the pack, get a good stride going, get a good pace, but then when you start to feel like you can go, you're going to go, and hopefully you're not too far behind. As you can see, we already have 2 packs starting to split up in the race.
Nemmergut, a junior out of Youngstown, Ohio. Other favorites in this event, you're looking at Nicole Blazer out of Indiana, a junior, and Hackenberg out of Bloomsburg. Amber Hackenberg. And like you said, 17, 18-minute, 20-minute race. Is the cold weather, Scott? I mean, you were a distance runner back in high school. How much of a difference? Yesterday, Friday, it's about 70 degrees, sunny, great. It's windy today. It's cold. It's cloudy. What kind of difference does that make, at least in the distance?
Well, you won't see the number one runner going out right in front. She's gonna let somebody else go in front, really draft the wind, since it's windy on the backstretch, and since it's cold, you're not gonna see that explosive speed right off the start. They're gonna get their muscles warmed up.
And since this is a distance race, most distance runners run cross-country. Cross-country's ran in the fall, so this kind of weather shouldn't really affect them. They should be used to it and feel comfortable in it.
Nicole Blazer from Indiana right now is in front of the pack in the red, the maroon and white of IUP, the black shorts. And so far now we have 10 laps to go, and the time is 3.5. Is this a quicker pace?
This is a good pace. If you figure 2 laps already in, you're 3.5 minutes, you're going to average at least good mile time.
Blazer, another junior, as I mentioned, out of Oxford, PA. Edinburgh had a couple of the top favorites coming into today's event. One of them, Rachel Lansell, actually did not qualify, and she is 8th in the NCAA. So there was a little bit of upsets yesterday. We take a look at some of the preliminary times. Nemmergut 17:04, Blazer 17:25.96. And during the course of today's event, especially in some of these longer events, I understand that, watching 20 laps around a track isn't all that exciting. We'll try to give you a little bit more insight, some of the past winners, some of the times, some of the records. A day like today, are we going to see a lot of track records or conference records fall, do you think?
Not today. You're really not going to see that because of the weather and the cold. They're really going to stay behind and try to draft off one another. So it's going to be close races towards the end. You're not going to see that one person go out and blow the field away.
Well, it's Blazer and Nemmergut 1-2 right now.
They have a good...
With 9 laps to go, and we're at 4:46 right now, Steph.
They are pulling away from the pack a lot early, unless some girls just aren't feeling the weather, but they are doing phenomenal. They're on really good pace for this kind of weather condition.
Beth Schwing is running 3rd out of Bloomsburg, and Charity Walker out of Mansfield running 4th, and they're at least, 20, 25 seconds behind.
Oh, yeah, like a good 50 meters behind. This is, for a 5,000 meter, it's really odd to not have two packs. There's a good 5 different packs running here.
Yeah, you have the 2 forerunners, then as I said, about, 100 meters or so behind them, another 2, then a shorter distance between the 2, and then the majority of the runners well behind the time. So it looks like it's a 2-horse race, so to speak.
Some may be holding back still for the first mile. This is about a 3-mile race, so you got to know.
That was my next question. Nemmergut ran hers in 17:04 to qualify. Blazer 17:25.
You're really going to see this race come down to the end. Not much is going to go on right now. For that last lap, you're going to see the front 2 runners really start to pick up speed and challenge each other towards the end.
And Edinburgh is doing exactly what you have to do. You have to stay behind the person that you think is your best competitor, and then just let them set the pace, and then when you're ready, just go. Because she looks very comfortable. Her strides are really good, and Indiana's is just they're getting a little shorter than they were in the beginning.
We're going to show we're going to take a look now at what exactly we were talking about, the distance between the different groups. You see the right side, the far end of the football field, wow. And now finally the second group coming around, and that lead is now, I'd say, 200 to 250 meters.
It's at least 100 meters in distance. That's amazing.
Not quite 100 meters in distance, about 75 meters in distance, but still it's remarkable that they're doing this early.
Now, a lot of these athletes, one of you alluded to, probably run cross-country, the distance events. Is this kind of one of the specialized events, or will these runners also be competing in like the 3,000 or the 1,500 as well?
Yeah, mainly all distance runners will compete in all distance events. Sometimes you will run the 5,000 meter to warm up for the mile. Some cross-country runners are better at middle distance. Some just run it to get in shape for like this event, but cross country is more about hills, running outside.
Yeah.
So it's a good training for track if you just want to specialize in track events.
I believe the cross country championships were here last year before. The Vulcans have nobody, the home school, in this event as the leaders cross the finish one more time. We're down to 7 laps. We're at 7:35 here in the first event of the day. We welcome everybody to CUTV catching the PSAC Track and Field Outdoor Championships. Glad you could join us. Our final shoot of the year here at CUTV Sports, and it's been a long year, and it's only fitting we start off with one of the longest events of the day to get things going. As the back of the pack, the people that are in no contention of a medal right now have kind of separated a little bit into a couple different groups.
Like you said, the runners in the back, they're not going for gold, but it is still a remarkable feat to get to where they are now, to be running in a championship in the NCAA Division II races.
Now, of course, all these events all count towards the overall team standings. We mentioned that Kutztown last year's track championship outdoor, before that Slippery Rock won too. But you look at some favorites, guys, and Slippery Rock, Kutztown again, Lock Haven very strong in the track and field events, both men and women. Track's something that's just kind of caught on here. California has really gotten a lot stronger over the last couple of years with Coach Roger Kingdom and his staff coming in. And we're going to see a lot more of the Vulcans and California athletes and some of the more sprint events, some of the shorter events, and that's more what their forte is. And you look at Coach Kingdom and what he did.
The team has to start building the women's program. The men's program is getting stronger. They're with Brad Rager running, and they're 4x400 team.
Oh, I'm well aware of how quick Brad is. Yes.
But there's something wrong with the women's program that I don't know if there's not enough people or if they're just not scouting enough. But they could be really good if they just start getting more people.
And I think that'll come through with success. You're seeing California, who was kind of an also ran in the past 5 or 6 years, now that their program, even if the men's program succeeds, you'll see more of the women athletes come in. 6 laps now. And for the uninformed at home, how long is the track around?
400 meters. You'll see.
That was my little way of saying, tell me how long that is.
You'll see different races. They will start at different spots. The 200 meter starts on the other side of the track. 100 is just a straightaway. And then when you run like a 400 hurdles, it's the whole lap with multiple hurdles in the way.
You might have been able to see on the left side of your screen the pole vaulting, the men's pole vault finals taking place. We're going to take a look at that when this race is over. 10 minutes, 15 seconds in, and the two leaders, Blazer and Nemmergut, just crossing the finish again.
We're
and they have
almost done
5
with the
laps.
second mile.
And this is about 3 miles, you said? And there is the 3rd and 4th runners in the lighter red, wearing number 8, is Hackenberg. She's moved up. Hackenberg out of Bloomsburg. Bloomsburg strength more their distance running. We're all getting a crash course in PSAC. Hey, I'm not even going to pretend to fib here. I'm not exactly an expert at this, but that's why you guys are here.
Yeah.
Roll with what you know.
11-minute 2 mile is amazing for a 5,000 meter. They're gonna do better than their prelim times at this pace.
Yeah, and you said that's surprising considering the how fact it's bitterly cold today.
Bitterly isn't really the word.
Let me roll with it, Steph. Well, if you've placed your bet on the Quinella right now, you're looking at IUP Edinburgh Bloomsburg. If you box that, you only get a 3rd, but
Like you said, it's cold for us up here in the stands, but right now they're feeling it. Their muscles are warmed up. They're ready to go.
Well, I have the utmost respect for these athletes, and I get blown up after 2 trips up and down the ice.
If you look at the first place runner, if you saw her face on the screen, she just seems so tired, and Edinburgh just looks so comfortable right now. She's going to probably end up passing her within the next lap and a half, because she's getting a lot closer. Her strides are getting better.
Yeah, the two lead runners are about to lap the last runner, and just now 3rd and 4 coming through. So we're getting to that home stretch, so to speak. 12:13 on the clock right now, excuse me.
We're looking for at least a 6-minute mile in this last mile right here, in this last 4 laps.
Stephanie Williams out of Kutztown right now crossing the finish. She would be, I believe, in 8th place as the middle of the pack coming through right now. 5th?
5th.
Now, as far as team standings go, no matter, considering there's 21 runners, does all of those count towards the overall?
No, I'm pretty sure it's only the top 8 get points, either top 8 or top 10. Team points, some track programs don't really care about team points.
Yeah.
Some are mainly concerned about because if you don't have a big team, you know you're not going to get most of the team points. If you have individual runners that you know can do really well, you're just focusing on them.
And here's our leaders again, and right now it's Blazer in front of Nemagut. They've exchanged a couple times, and right now we're not exactly sure where the 3rd and 4 are because of the fact the leaders have lapped the pack and the 2nd have come through. And here comes the 3rd place runner coming through.
She pulled away in this last lap also.
That is number
9.
Number 9. Charity Walker out of that's not Mansfield.
Yes.
It's Mansfield?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And number 4 in 4th place is Beth Swing, a freshman out of Bloomsburg. Bloomsburg, another one of the strong distance teams.
3 laps left.
Coming down to the end.
13:45.
Though you might be thinking 3 laps is not the end for these runners. It's great.
It's the greatest thing ever.
A lot of fans, a lot of family, a lot of personnel in the stands here. To be perfectly honest, I've seen football games that were less full than this.
You have people, parents traveling from East Stroudsburg and Kutztown to be here. It's amazing that they are so involved with their kids still at the collegiate level that they will drive all the way across the fair state of Pennsylvania to see their kids.
They were just happy their child took up track instead of like hockey or lacrosse where they got to pay, $5,000 of equipment and for ice time and whatnot. They just run, buy shoes.
You'd be surprised how much shoes cost for track and field.
Oh, I can imagine. Here comes the leaders again. 2 laps to go. 800 meters, correct, to go?
Yes, 800 meters.
Right, 14:40.
Wow.
And the record, if you're wondering, the PSAC record is 15:59. I don't think we're going to break that.
No.
The PSAC meet record is 16:19, both set by Julie Bowers. Now, to qualify, this is, as we mentioned, the conference championships, the NCAA provisional automatic times, to be honest, I'm not real sure. I think if that is the time they have to beat to qualify, at least automatically or provincially, for the national competitions. The automatic is 16:40, and the provisional is 17:50. That second number definitely looks like it's going to fall, at least for those top 2 runners.
You're going to see the first and second runners start to really pick up their pace. Now you're getting into the last lap. You're feeling good. I know you're going to start sprinting your final lap. You got your last chance. You got to pull out for it. You got to make your passes now on on the people that are slowing down, and you got it there. And there's our first pass of Edinburgh, and she's starting to pick it up.
Yeah, and it's Nemagut. She's starting to really pull away now. You can just see her kicks a little higher, Scott, and there's not as much. The cringe on her face isn't quite as much as it is on Blazer.
That's what it is. We're coming to the bell lap right here with Nemagut in front, and she's really going to start pulling away. She was leaning back, drafting off of the second runner right now, and she's just going to fly from that here on out.
Goes.
Yeah, she's gone. You could just see over the last, I'd say, 50, 75 meters, she's starting to get a step here and there.
She's making it look easy.
And you stole my thunder on the bell lap. I really wanted to say that.
Sorry.
She looks very comfortable. She has really good training and conditioning to be able to be that comfortable at the end of this extremely long race.
Charity Walker is now past the finish line. She's in 3rd place out of Mansfield. So if you're looking team-wise right now, it's Edinburgh, Indiana, and Bloomsburg running 1, 2, 3.
This race is going to get real interesting real fast right here.
Now I'd say, about 15 meters separate them as they cross the backside coming around the goalpost.
15 meters, yes.
I'm surprised that the inner runners, they aren't moving out of the way.
Is that a courtesy thing?
Because if someone's trying to go for a time, you're not going to have a chance at getting it. You move out of the way. You just.
Right now, if you're the lap person, you're just trying not to get lapped. You're just trying to save some dignity right here, but Nemmergut's going to come right down the finish.
It's going to be Joy Nemmergut in lane 13 out of Edinburgh with a time of 17 minutes and 21 seconds.
Wow.
And the second runner, Blazer, comes in about 9 seconds back.
Here comes Mansfield.
And that's probably at around a time of 50, 52, something like that. Mansfield is going to dig in. Charity Walker.
She's pulling.
Look at that finish. Great finish.
Good finish indeed. 48, so there you go. The top 3 finishers winning the gold. Number 1, Julie Nemmergut, a senior out of Edinburgh. Second, Nicole Blazer, junior out of IUP. And Charity Walker, a senior out of Mansfield. Gets us started. Here is the PSAC Track and Field Championships again. The women's 5,000 meters. And all 3 of those runners.
We got a race at the end here.
The kicking from Slippery Rock.
20 and 21, Woolery from Slippery Rock, Williams from Kutztown, and it's going to be Woolery, Holly Woolery from Slippery Rock gets in there.
Exciting finish, but that will not be good enough to get her into the NCAAs.
Yes, that was for 6 and 7, I believe.
Oh, we just lost track by now.
As the tail end of the runners come through. So again, 1, 2, and 3. Julie Nemmergut from Edinburgh. Number 2, Nicole Blazer from IUP. Number 3, Charity Walker from Mansfield. And all 3 of those times actually under the NCAA provisional number. So they'll be looking to extend their season in the NCAA Division II Track Championships. And now we're going to take a look over to the far left of the field. And this is what's going to be fun all day long. Men's pole vault.
Oh.
And try and get an idea of what's going on here, some of the competitors and some of the heights and whatnot they're going for. And there appears to be somebody from Millersville, and that did not quite make it over the top.
Yeah, in pole vault you have to do multiple things. You have to make sure your steps are on, and you have to make sure the standards, the things that are holding the bar up, are in the right position, because if you can't reach your legs over it, you're not going to get over the bar.
We're going to take a look at our first replay. Don't count on many.
Yeah, his standards were
here we go.
correct.
Okay, this is the record for the pole vault, the PSAC record set in 2000, also the PSAC record in 2000 by Paul Schmidt. And unfortunately, you see the placard right behind the competitor there is actually what the height is, so we're not real sure what the height is.
You can see how windy it is here by the bar moving so much back and forth. It's not a good condition for a pole vaulter, and you're going up really high.
We said that was Millersville. My best guess is this is Kutztown. Well, Millersville, there's only one Millersville competitor, and that looks red. So I'm going to say that is Kutztown. And if my numbers are correct, that was Brian Dodds out of Kutztown.
I think that is East Stroudsburg, actually.
Yes. Well, they could be out of order by this point as they've advanced with the heights and whatnot as well. So.
Also, some people don't come in at the same heights.
Yeah.
Some prefer
so they have to start a little lower.
You start a little lower.
While all this is going on, next door over at Rodman Park, the men's shot put, the men's triple jump, and the women's javelin are taking place. Our next track event will be the women's 3,000 steeplechase. And now as that's going on, explain the steeplechase. It's kind of a unique event, and that's the best way I can put it.
Well, this 3,000-meter steeplechase, it's about a 2-mile race with hurdles in the way, and these hurdles are black and white hurdles that you have to jump over to keep going to advance in the race, and every runner must get over. If not, you get a severe penalty on you. And as I said, there are 4 hurdles spread out throughout the race, each on every turn, and once you round to the 4th turn, you will encounter a water pit. You will jump over
Very medieval.
Hurdle. Yes, go into a water pit and advance from there.
Now, I am in no way making light or fun of anything, but why is there a water pit only on the 4th one?
It's a good question. I wish I knew.
Okay, thank you.
It gives you something to look forward to.
On a hot day, it's nice.
But on today,
take a bath.
And the guy that we saw first from Mansfield just made it over the pole vault. As you can see,
Gets the pole in there. Nice spring up. Good lean over.
Good arc.
About how high is that right now? Best guess.
13, 12, 13.
12, 6, 13.
Some of the numbers yesterday, Alec Rice out of IUP had the high qualifying height of 15 feet even. Most of the competitors were in the mid-13s. Actually, no, I'm looking down. He was not. Steve Winters out of Kutztown was at 15 feet 7 inches. So
Ooh,
that's
wow.
a little higher. As we get set for the Steeplechase. Mansfield's Charity Walker, who actually finished third in the previous event, is going to have to come right back out there, it appears.
But for a distance runner, that shouldn't be that bad for her because she can take the first couple laps go. If she's really trained for the steeplechase, she will be able to do it. She'll pull it out when it's needed.
She was ranked 8th in the NCAA. Rachel Hall, also out of Mansfield, will be running the event. She's ranked 13th. And there's 6 or 7 provisional runners already qualified. I'm looking, Walker is actually not running the event. The top time was 10 minutes, 39 seconds, set by Kelly Richards of Edinburgh. Edinburgh, a very strong track team. Take a look at some more of the pole vaulting.
They are at 13 feet now. We just got to look at the score at the little board.
Yes, I see it. As some of the competitors for the steeplechase start coming in. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. A long day of coverage here at CTV, extending the last final of the day at 3:15, the men's 1600 relay.
4x400.
Yeah.
That is the biggest race.
Yeah, what are your, everybody watches the Olympics every 4 years, and there's a lot going on. What are kind of the, I don't want to say the highlight sports? Obviously the 100-meter.
Yeah, mainly the relays. The relays are always really big, the 4x100 and the 4x400. The 400 also is one lap around the track, and sometimes hurdles. It really matters if there's any good times and stuff. And in the field events, everybody likes pole vault and long jump. And we got to see the high jump before we started here, and that was interesting. We got to see somebody go for 7 feet.
And Scott, what do you think is the most difficult?
By far the 400-meter dash. You're running top speed for a full lap. That is hard. That is near impossible to do. But these people are experts out here, and they really are trained to do that. But in my opinion, I've had a chance to run that race, and then when you add a baton to it, the 4x400, it gets even harder.
Yeah, I want to point out that I've obviously made a statement that I'm not exactly an expert. You guys are. You guys ran track in high school, and you're very familiar with the events and the training and what goes into what these athletes have to do. And this isn't like football or basketball. It's a year-round thing.
Yeah.
You cannot sit back for 3 or 4 months and have some Cheetos while you watch baseball. You kind of have to keep yourself together.
Yeah, and oftentimes even sprinters will run cross-country just for training because you need to be able to do everything to just accomplish it.
As you get some runners in the distance events, such as Ryan Morvac, he's running about 40 miles a week, so 40 miles is an incredible feat for anybody.
We got some team standings right now.
All right, yeah, women's team standings, 7 events scored. We'll go bottom up. Mansfield in 10th place, Clarion is in 11th, Mansfield 10th, Stroudsburg 9th, Bloomsburg 8th, Westchester 7, Edinburgh is 6th, Ship is 5th with 26, Kutztown 4th with 28, IUP with 29, and then it's just pulled away. Lock Haven 41, and Slippery Rock has 73.
Slippery Rock has good field events as well, so if you can get points in your field events, you will pull away. It doesn't matter what you do on the track.
And it is the top 8 that score. And in the men's standings, 13th is Clarion, California right now 12th, Cheney 11th, Edinburgh 10th, Mansfield 9th, Westchester 8th, Millersville 7th, and then the points kind of add up a little bit. Kutztown was 6th, Stroudsburg 5th, Indiana 4th, and all those 3 teams separated by 2 points. And then there's another separation. Slippery Rock with 44.5 points in 3rd, Lock Haven with 49 in 2nd, and Shippensburg right at the top, just like we thought they'd be, with 54 points. And this is through 7 events.
These 7 events that are scored are from the decathlon and the heptathlon, and also the high jump. We got the 10,000 meter run, also the long jump, shot put, or some that are included in here, javelin, hammer throw.
The steeplechase will be starting shortly, but actually California's only points, the 3 points, was from Randy Konchik yesterday, placing 6th in the discus.
Yeah, first place finish gets 10 points, second 8, third 6, fourth 5th, fifth 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. Now, as the steeplechase begins to go, I'll pass that along. You hang on to that. Start to, again, idea of what's going on. I mentioned some of the times. Kelly Richards, she'll be in lane 13, a senior out of Edinburgh.
And everybody's numbered just to tell who you are. It's not really in any order.
Oh, excuse me.
Steeplechase is it's a 3,000 race, so it should be between 7 and 8. I'm pretty sure it's 7.
Richards out of Edinburgh, PA, as they'll be starting on the very far side of the field. You can see the women's 3,000 steeplechase final. The meet and conference record, Sarah Rashator, 2002, 10:24.77. And Richards yesterday put up a time only about 12 seconds off that pace. So.
And you see, they start out really slow. You got a lot.
Now, this hurdle is a lot different, obviously, than what you would see on the sprint hurdles.
After a while, after the first mile, you'll probably see people not jump over it, but put their hands on it and, help themselves over.
Like you would hop on a fence running from somebody, yes.
The winner is running from somebody else, and you want to get out as fast as possible.
Take a look at Rachel Hall, last year's champion out of Mansfield, and Rashator out of IUP.
Starting to get some sunshine out here.
Thank the big guy for that one.
And now you can see, as we expected to see in the 5,000, that there's packs. There's about 4 packs now, and it should stay that way like a normal distance race, unless they want to get a little different on us again.
Now that hurdle, is it higher, shorter than the other one?
It's shorter and thicker.
Yeah. It looks like it would hurt a lot more if you knocked that one down.
Oh, trust me, regular hurdles hurt just as much.
And the water pit, now how far over that is it? Will we see people get
you
wet?
will not clear that.
No, you can't.
You will go right into that as we see him come up on this third turn right here.
And I know Gary's been waiting for this for about 2 months.
Here it comes.
Steph's still getting...
And there's some water.
Feet are
Steph's still getting
wet.
used to the fact that other people are in our ears while we do this.
Sometimes you'll see people fall in the water, but they'll just get back up and keep running.
We'll try to identify the lead runners as best we can, as their jersey number, their bib number is a little different.
You have Mansfield and lead right now with the Kutztown.
Now I understand. Number 210 is Rachel Hall, the junior out of Mansfield. She's 13th nationally, and she's in the lead pack with somebody from Bloomsburg, I believe Shippensburg and Edinburgh, yeah.
They look very comfortable. They're just keeping some pace. They're getting actually a little far away from the rest of the packs, but whatever they want.
In the last event, the 5,000 meter women's, there was 21 competitors. This one only 15. As the sun really begins to peer out behind the clouds. And it is actually beginning to warm up a little bit. And now, as a runner, does that kind of mess with your
No.
If the temperature changes like this, especially going from cold to hot?
No, your muscles already warmed up. I know I don't notice anything, and when in high school I'd start running at the beginning of the meet and end with the 4x400, so you were already warmed up. Nothing really changed. Ooh, back in the water.
We're at 3:09, so you're looking about a third of the way through the race. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, and as the sun comes out, it's always better to go from cold to hot than to hot to cold, because if you're going from hot to cold, you have to warm up a lot better, and it's a lot harder to really
if this wind would just stop, that would be wonderful.
13:7:15. 7 is Tasha Wheatley from Clarion. 13 is Kelly Richards out of Edinburgh. 15 is Mary Baker out of Bloomsburg.
Oh, and Edinburgh just pulled away a little, just trying to pull away a little from the rest of her little pack, but she realized, yep, we still got a lot of race left to go. I'm gonna chill.
Now, as a runner or any competitor in this event, and we mentioned, there's obviously individuals and teams. In a race like this, do you even think about the team aspect,
No.
or are you just running your race?
No.
Yeah, you run your race. That's your job to score team points, but that's really not what you're concerned with right now. You're concerned with how you're performing, how your body's functioning, and how you're running your race.
Oftentimes, teammates, if they are together, like in the same range,
Yeah.
one will run first, block the wind, then the next one will come up, block the wind. But then when you feel better, you're just going to pull ahead, and you're going to be like, see ya.
Yeah, there's a couple, 2 competitors from Clarion, a pair from Slippery Rock. I see 2 from Edinburgh, 3 from Slippery Rock, actually. So that's got to stop shaking. And that SPF 45 will come into play soon.
I hope so.
And here comes our lead pack again. And you said there are 4 hurdles, 5 hurdles throughout the course of the
There's
the race?
4 hurdles and then 1 hurdle with the water.
The third hurdle is the one with the water. So
It's also a little higher, too, and that's the one that you'll mainly see people step over.
And there is that lead pack again now with 4 laps to go.
At the mile mark.
And you saw a good example of the step over there using that back heel.
And the wind is still whipping here, so as soon as these runners hit the backstretch, you're just going to see them
hit a wall
of wind, and it'll slow down significantly.
And it may not seem it to us. It's obviously making us a little difficult here, a little uncomfortable just being cold, but down on the track, that's a big deal.
That's
Even
a
the
big
smallest breeze can make a big difference. And I've noticed again that a lot of even the throw events, the wind, is very calculated into whether records are happening or whatnot.
In these races, you really won't see the runners do much with the wind. It's an extra force that you have to battle. But on the shorter distance races, you're going to see runners put their head down and really try to aerodynamically hit themselves into the wind.
Is that why you see, such as events like this, a little more looser shorts, whereas you see the tight spandex, neoprene type stuff?
Well, you really don't need really tight wear as a distance runner because it really doesn't matter. But as a sprinter, the littlest, if you catch a little bit of wind in your uniform, it's going to affect your time because you go down to fractions of a second to see who wins.
Well, we've seen the top pack kind of separate itself into 2 smaller groups. In the white
Number 13.
Yes, 13, Kelly Richards out of Edinburgh. And then there's Hall, number 10, right beside her. And then in the back, I believe it was Mary Baker from Bloomsburg. And Clarion's Tash Wheatley.
Ooh, Clarion just slid on top of the hurdle, and she almost went down hard.
Wheatley, a junior out of Salzburg, Pennsylvania.
Salzburg.
Mary Baker, a senior out of New Triple, Pennsylvania.
New Triple.
And the leaders, Rachel Hall out of Mansfield.
This is a very interesting race right here. The runners really aren't staying behind each other. They're really competing for first place. This is unusual to see because usually you're trying to draft off the first runner, and then right now they're just going neck and neck. And we still got 3 laps left.
We mentioned, I'm mentioning the class and whatnot. Obviously, team sports, football, basketball, what have you, you get more experience. Does that really make a lot of difference as far as a freshman running against a senior in these events?
I wouldn't say so because it depends how you train. If you train all year round and you train hard, you train with your coach, you lift weights. Lifting weights is actually a big key part in a distance race like this. Endurance is not the only factor. You need to have every part of your body toned to run a race like this. So freshman, sophomore, it doesn't really matter. It's the way you train.
Well, right now it's Richards ahead of Hall by about 10 meters. So we come up with 2 laps to go. The time is 8:04. The provisional time is 11:27. The automatic time is 10:20. And they're a little ahead of that right now, right about at that pace. Mary Bacher from Bloomsburg and Tasha Wheatley round out the top 4. And there's some separation there as well as a couple of the other runners starting to creep up towards the back of the pack. Remember, the top 8 score.
Now if the sun comes out, we're not getting really our clock we're about. 8:36. I'm thinking this is.
Oh, wait till football season.
Oh, the sun.
For those of you looking at the field, get a good look at the grass. It's probably the last time you'll see it. They're putting turf in over the summer, field turf. Which this field has had its issues with weather and rain over the years, and it's a good step for California, and it's really, I think, going to enhance the program a little. It'll also help the stadium and the university get some outside events, even some high school football.
This is a beautiful track. They kept things really there. It's very well kept and everything. And
coming through again, and now there's really a distance between first and second.
Wow, she's once again with the Edinburgh, we're seeing in the distance runners, they are very comfortable as they're continuing the whole thing.
Kelly Richards now as the bell lap as we get set for the bell lap. Thank you, Scott.
I'll let you say that one as Kelly Richards comes on the last lap.
And there's Rachel Hall. Bacher from Bloomsburg coming third, and now we've had some movement in fourth place. Is that 11? Yes. 11th is Desiree Bauer from Kutztown, and behind her is Wheatley from Clarion, and then Bridge Danner from Shippensburg in fifth.
Yeah, I think this is over. We have we're going to say a good 50-meter lead in a distance race, and
so about 200 meters to go now as they're in the back stretch coming to that final water jump. Is that what we'll go with? The water pit?
Roll with it.
Well, let's. Oh. We just heard her. She went through the splash. That's a little better.
One more hurdle to go, and that will be it.
This will be your second win.
I'm looking at the time, 10:41. Should be well below the provisional time. A little ahead of her pace yesterday, but your 2006 champion in the 3,000-meter steeplechase, Kelly Richards from Edinburgh. She'll finish one.
Wow, nice kick at the end of this
10,
race.
Rachel Hall will finish second.
And here comes the pack. These are the tail end. The runner coming in now is at the back.
They're all trying to get under that provisional time of 11:27. Let's see if they get there.
And that is Tasha Wheatley
wow.
with a great break at the end, yeah. And a race for fourth, and it's going to be Desiree Bauer fourth and Bridge Danner fifth. Bacher sixth.
Top five get in the NCAA provisional in this race under 11.
That's amazing.
11:27, yeah. So a couple good showings for Edinburgh to start as they take our first two events that we have here in the 2006 PSAC Outdoor Track and Field Finals. We'll be right back here on CUTV.
Introducing Points from National City, the best banking rewards program. It gives you points for paying bills online, using your check card, or even writing checks. Everyday things, so the points really pile up fast. Then you redeem them for lots of things you'll find rewarding. Points from National City. Sign up today. It's free.
Do you know where you're going? Cal U's Tourism and Geography program gave me the direction I needed to build my career
in the world's largest and fastest growing industry.
A world-class academic adventure
dedicated to my professional development.
Graduate with experience.
Go places.
Welcome back to Adamson Stadium, the 2006 PSAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith. What started out as a windy, cold, bitter, dreary Saturday morning has turned into a windy, chilly, but yet sunny Saturday afternoon. We've had 2 events thus far. We've seen the finals of the women's 5,000 meters and 3,000 meter steeplechase. Edinburgh winning both of those events. But now we're going to take a look at our first men's track event. And we saw the women's 3,000 meter steeple. Now we're going to see the men's 3,000 steeple. And we're looking for Lock Haven, actually, to be the top team, as they have 2 of the best runners in this event.
Yes, Chris Robinson has really come into his own in this race, and he's really excelled in the steeplechase. And as you see, they're moving up the hurdles. The men jump a little bit higher than the women, so the hurdles get moved up about 2 notches. So it's tougher for them to jump over. And Bobby
Buckenmeyer is actually last year's champion in this event. Time of 9:23.40. Robson's preliminary time is only 4/10 off that mark. California, no runners in this event, and I'm taking a look at our schedule. The first California track event participant will be in the men's 4x100, which is right after the women's 4x100, which will follow this race. Go ahead, and we have the final results from the women's steeplechase there, Scott.
The official timing for the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. Kelly Richards from Edinburgh University, a senior, wins with the time of 10:59. Rachel Hall in second, a junior from Mansfield University, comes in at a time with 11:06. Tasha Wheatley from Clarion with 11:22, and then so on and so forth. And the top 5 runners have advanced to the NCAA tournament championships.
And to update quickly the women's team standings, especially now with Edinburgh coming up.
The women right now, Clarion is in 11th with 9 points. East Stroudsburg is barely edging them out with 11.5. Mansfield is in 9th with 16. Bloomsburg has 17. Westchester 28.5. Then we have Indiana with 30. Edinburgh has 31 along with Shippensburg, so we have a close race there.
Well, Edinburgh got 20 of those points in those last 2 races, so they've moved up quickly.
Kutztown has 41, Lock Haven has 55, and Slippery Rock is still in the lead with 81.
As we get set for the 3,000 meter steeplechase for the men, the PSAC meet record, Michael Renninger, 1989 from Edinburgh, and the PSAC record going all the way back to 1983, also from Edinburgh, Greg Beardsley, 8:39. The NCAA automatic time is 9 minutes flat, and the provisional time is 9:26. And as I mentioned, the top qualifier coming in is Chris Robson, the junior out of Lock Haven, 9:23.8, and last year's defending champion, Billy Buckenmeyer, another senior out of Lock Haven, 9:24.10. As you hear the starter's pistol, I duck for cover, and we are underway. 7 laps.
7 laps. Oh, but the next race will be well worth it, the 4x100.
And that's one of the premier.
If anybody that pretty much knows anything about track, they know the 100, the 4x4 where everybody runs 1 lap, and the 4x1 where everybody runs a little 100 of it.
A fourth of the track. 12 competitors in this event, the smallest field we've had thus far, and there's the 2 Lock Haven competitors right in front, and Chris Robson, the taller of the 2 Lock Haven Bald Eagles, in front, Buckenmeyer right behind him, and you can definitely see the difference in the height of the hurdle.
You should see, guys' races are different than girls. They will probably stay in maybe 3s for the entire race, and you'll be able to tell.
That's good because there's 12. It's a nice even number then.
And pulling out already is Lock Haven.
Chris Robson from Lock Haven and Buckenmeyer are your 2 leaders.
And as far as the men's team's rankings, Lock Haven right now is only 5 points behind Shippensburg, so a strong finish here may project them and put them in that top spot.
It all matters where Shippensburg finishes.
And
Day is young.
There's only 1 competitor from Shippensburg on this event, Stephen Lobianco.
Oh, the sun went away on us again. We'd wish it came back.
It wouldn't be any other way, Steph. We've done 120 shoots here at CETV for sports this year, as the Lock Haven teammates have flip-flopped, and Buckenmeyer now in front of Robson.
And I believe all those were cold.
Yes.
Very
cold or rainy? Ask Greg.
Yeah, we see there's a pack. It's It's very nice.
As we see, it looks like Buckenmeyer took the lead on Chris Robson.
Now, his teammates, both from the same score, they kind of working together, at least for the first part of this race?
They are working together. You're seeing them swap back first and second, really to cut the wind, especially on the back stretch. And really, whoever gets over the hurdle first can make the splash.
And oftentimes, coaches will, at least at the high school level, we had coaches, you could not be in the infield. So they would have certain whistles. That would mean, one, if you can't go faster, have somebody else, have the other person get in front of you, have open your strides, start going a little faster. And sometimes, like I said before, you have a teammate go in front to block the wind, and then you'll go in front the next lap like they're doing right now.
Lockhaven coached by Mark Elliston. And Lockhaven's another one of those schools, you know, they've been perennial doormats in football, basketball. Softball team is actually doing very well this year, but they've been one of the teams that consistently, year in, year out, right up there top 3 or 4 track teams in the conference.
Yeah, and they have a very good cross-country program as well, running right on the banks of the mighty Sus.
Oh, I love that, as we got a chance to visit there a couple months ago.
As you see the runners come up to the hurdle, they're really counting their steps so they don't stutter up to the hurdle, because when you stutter up to the hurdle, you are losing valuable time.
Now, are you counting from the jump to the next jump? Or?
You can, but that's a lot of counting. So runners usually just run for a while, and then when they get to, they have spots marked off on the track when they count, especially these blue arrows, as you see, they're the exchange zones for the relays. But for this event, they're counting strategies.
They're flip-flopping again. They're doing very good team strategy. They're very well trained and coached together, so they know how each other can react in different events.
Dan Field from Edinboro right now is 3rd, and Adam Shinsky from IUP is 4th, and then a pack of runners about 10 meters or so behind them. That's what we do in metric style here in track and field.
You'll see during the hurdle races that runners will count their steps in between, and if something's wrong, you'll see them try to fix it. But once you get off in a regular hurdle race, unlike this where there's a massive distance in between, you'll see people they'll stutter up to the hurdle, they'll knock them over, they'll not do very well.
We're coming up on 5 minutes or so here in the 3,000 meters, about 3.5 laps to go.
At the mile mark. Pole vault's still going on as well.
If we get a result for that, we'll pass that along to you. We also sent a few brave men up across the hill via the Gator, and they had a very well-known driver to get up there. But John McGuire, Joe Rubel, and Rob McCartney hopefully will bring us back some pictures from some of the throw events that are taking place right by the tennis courts at Rodman Park. Also some of the jump events, the long jump, the triple jump taking place there. We mentioned we saw some of the high jump earlier as Buckenmeyer has kind of pulled away, looking to repeat.
Lockhaven also won the high jump with I'm pretty sure the winning height was 6 feet 11 inches, and he went for 7 feet, and that was the first time I've seen that in person, and it was really cool to see. But then again,
you amaze easily.
That's very true.
Ooh, string. All competitors have now finished this lap, and we'll have 2 left. In the top 2, Buckenmeyer ahead, and Robson's actually being passed now for 2nd place by, I believe that's Field.
They gave us a bigger clock down here by the finish line, so we don't have to keep looking.
Thank you. 6. They're actually off a little bit by a second or 2, so we'll have to wait and see what the official time is. You can also see there's a camera set up in case of a photo finish. Yeah.
And that's how we're getting all these times a lot quicker than normal. Is they have the numbers that the runners are wearing on top, the lower numbers. Sometimes they have a little strip inside of them that will register what you need.
Buckenmeyer, Field, Robson, and Josh Mooneyhan from Edinboro. So 2 Edinboro, 2 Lockhaven. And coming up from Slippery Rock there is Jake Moore into the 5th spot.
And with 2 laps left, we're going in doubles.
Buckemeyer really feels strong at this point in the race. He's pulled out significantly on the other competitors and he's looking to bring home the gold.
Mentioned he won this event last year. His time, 9:23.40. Little behind that right now.
Oh, not in these conditions will he get that. If the sun was still out and the wind died down a lot. Mainly when you're running a distance event, if it starts to be warm and then gets colder, your muscles won't know how to react. Some people, if you're not in very good conditioning, very good weight training, you'll cramp and it will be very bad because it's a very long race.
Yeah, but the top athletes, that's not really a concern.
No.
Is it harder to run the cold for the shorter events or the longer events?
Long events, because your lung capacity, your lungs are going to contract and you're not going to be able to get that inhale that you usually get in that lung action that'll work in most endurance races.
Buckenmeyer, Field, Robson, Jake Moore as the bell lap is sounded.
We're enjoying the bell lap a little too much here.
Mooneyhan then coming up from IUP is Adam Shinsky. He's going to make the pass as the final lap starts. So there are your top 6 right there.
Chris Robson looks like he's going to pass Buckenmeyer for the lead.
Oh, Robson out of nowhere. He kind of hung back there.
That's a big move right there.
That's strategy.
Buckenmeyer started a little too early. Thought it was feeling good. Guess not.
Jake Moore actually tripped over that last hurdle, so he lost a little bit of time there. It's basically a 2-man race, and both from Lockhaven.
Robson is dying out and coming around this last turn. It's going to be interesting coming down the stretch.
Only about 3 meters between them. The water jump left, and then one more hurdle in the final stretch. Has been our most exciting race so far.
Oh!
And Robson looked like he kind of stumbled a little bit there.
Stumbled a little bit, but it looks like it's going to come right down to the end. Both runners are running great, top speed.
Buckenmeyer's kick looks a little stronger right now.
Over the last hurdle that come down the home stretch.
And Buckenmeyer does not look like he's going to catch his teammate. Chris Robson is going to win the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Lockhaven finishes 1-2. Danfield from Edinburgh 3rd. Jake Moore from Slippery Rock finishes 4th. Shinsky from IUP 5th. What was the time on that?
9:14 and then 9:15.
And they'll qualify.
Top 4 runners will qualify to go on to the NCAAs.
And then the rest of the pack comes in. So Lockhaven, that was one of the best races we've seen so far today. And the 2 teammates, and I thought Robson was out because he kind of drifted back that next to last lap or so.
He knew his strength. His strength basically was to hang back until the end and then out-sprint everybody else. And dangerous strategy, but it pays off at the end.
Was his height a little bit more of an advantage there maybe with the hurdles?
Not the hurdles, his strides. He opened up his strides. He's got longer legs, so it can take him over more distance, and he just surpassed Buckemeyer's short legs for the gold.
Well, Lockhaven finishes 1-2 in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. 2 of the premier events are coming up next, the men and women's 4x100, the PSAC Track and Field Championships, right here on CUTV.
You know, there's a chance you might not know who I am. But I'll give you a clue. I'm famous. Not a chef. I'm no boxer. But neither is he. Ain't no golfer. My fans know who I am. I'm Nelly. And your kids are your biggest fans. So talk to them about underage drinking.
Nelly, we're ready for you.
Let's go.
Welcome back. We're getting set for one of the premier events, the 4x100. And Slippery Rock's team actually setting the PSAC record earlier this season. They got to be the favorite. They ran 46.4 to qualify.
The keys to this race are getting your handoffs, getting out of the blocks, and finishing strong, having your anchor finish. Your best time ever.
We don't have the individual names, so we'll just go with the teams as this goes on. It'll be Mansfield, Lockhaven, Shippensburg, Slippery Rock, East Stroudsburg, Kutztown, Westchester, and IUP.
This race is especially a team race. You're not looking for individual performance. You're looking as a team performance until you get to the anchor leg, and that's when you really get your best sprinter out there and really drive home the win.
And they do have them in the lanes, Mansfield in 1, Indiana in 8. 1 is the closest to the infield. Now, is there a big difference in lane preference here?
Yes, there is. You want to be in the middle lanes 3, 4, and 5. That's normally where the top seeded people are.
And that's about right. Yeah.
Because if you're pacing off of the middle. If you're in the middle, you see where people are around you. You have a better perspective of where you're at, and it helps you a lot more. So you want to have the best times in, so you get the best races. Lane 8 and lane 1, they're not good at all.
On your mark is up.
Yeah. Stroudsburg won this last year. Slippery Rock finished second.
The runners get ready to set.
Dramatic pause. And they're underway. And you really can't get a distinct favorite until that first handoff. And then, as you said, it's all about the handoffs in this.
Westchester's out there first.
Westchester in the purple. Indiana right there as well.
Oh, and there comes Slippery Rock. They're already making up the stagger.
You can kind of tell by the team colors.
Very good handoff by Slippery Rock right there.
And Slippery Rock had the best qualifying time. Right now they're separating themselves. One more handoff.
Oh, wow. Third leg is very good for Slippery Rock.
And it's going to be Slippery Rock.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Slippery Rock by a lot as they come down to the finish right here.
Oh, it's a great race.
Tight race for second. Looks like Shippensburg coming in
third.
Oh,
no, it's East Stroudsburg.
comes in second, and Kutztown comes in a third.
So Rock, Stroudsburg, Kutztown.
I actually got to see East Stroudsburg run a couple weeks ago at the Bucknell Open, and they were running against D1 schools, and they were doing very well.
Well, Slippery Rock, they kind of took away after that third handoff, the third leg. You said it, Scott. That third leg is what got them going.
It was a great handoff from the second to the third. It was very nice, and that gives you all the momentum. Just keep going.
Slippery Rock finishes with a 46-second split. As you see the third handoff coming right easily into the hand of the third runner. Good exchange from second to third.
And her strides were very good. She knew. She had it. She knew after that. And you were making around the corner. She was all by herself. There was nowhere even near her. And coming up on the last handoff, you can see just a great start. Perfect extension. And she's off.
Rose, McDaniel, Rekich, Rash, the four runners.
And now we get to see Cal for the first time today.
Yeah, the men's 4x100. Slippery Rock finishes 46.93, which is good enough for a provisional time. Just off what they had earlier in the week.
And going back to the men's race coming up, Cal qualified fourth for this race, and with a 41.98. And well, as you can see, that because he's qualified within the last three, they are in a farther out lane, but it shouldn't hurt them that much.
It'll be Westchester, Kutztown, Cheney. Our first look at Cheney, Slippery Rock, Shippensburg, your California Vulcans, IUP, and East Stroudsburg. Last year in this event, IUP was victorious with a time of 42.48. Top qualifying team was Slippery Rock, 41.73. So we've seen a couple teams kind of starting to diss themselves. We've seen Edinboro. We saw Mansfield a little bit. Now Slippery Rock is...
and the wind's starting to pick up.
Yeah.
As long as you have each runner run about 10, 11 seconds, you're going to get that top speed out in the open.
Our announcer is very animated today.
He's fun.
He's having a great time, as we are here.
The PSAC championship record set by Lockhaven 03, the all-time record going back to the year of my birth, 1977, set by Edinboro. Again, this is the first time we'll take a look at the California Vulcans. They will be in lane 6. That's 2 from the rail.
Cheney's got an interesting
Yeah,
uniform.
I'm fascinated. His shoes even match the rest of his outfit in the baton. That's very awesome.
Cheney looks to be the favorite in this race, I would say, because they've got a Cypress, Walters.
Cheney, Slippery Rock, Shippensburg, and Cal all broke 42 seconds.
That's a good start.
The highest number was East Stroudsburg. They're in the outside lane, and we are underway. Ship and Cheney ahead as the first exchange.
Good handoff by Cal.
There's a lot of red out there.
Oh.
Shippensburg making up some ground in the second leg.
It's a bad start by Shippensburg right there, but it looks like the third leg's going to make up for that.
It's Shippensburg ahead in lane 5 as the crowd to its feet.
We got a tight finish coming down the stretch. Slippery Rock. Slippery Rock and Shippensburg coming down to the end.
Brad Rager with a kick, and
Brad Rager with the kick. He's going to get third place.
Yeah.
With the lean, yes. He's got third place.
And we're happy for Brad. It's Slippery Rock, Shippensburg, and California. 1, 2, 3. Nice run by Brad at the end, coming from behind.
Ooh.
That's what Cal's got to do. Got to perform at the anchor leg.
And Cheney just getting beat out there for the third spot. They'll finish 4th. Try to get the time here. 41.35 is your time.
Ooh.
The provisional was 41.3.
41.53.
And that is the top.
0.53 is official.
41.53. The next event is the women's 1500, I believe.
Hurdles. They called for hurdle crew, so it looks like the hurdles are going to come out.
100-meter hurdles.
So California gets their first.
Oh no!
They
have Cheney getting. Oh, never mind. They had their lane number.
Well, California finishes 3rd in their first event we've seen all day, but Slippery Rock with a pair of wins in the 100s. We'll be right back here at the PSAC Track Championships here on CUTV.
Loggerheads, the area's best in casual dining and entertainment. Loggerheads features cold drinks of every variety and a complete lineup of salads, sandwiches, gourmet pizzas, and nightly dinner specials. Loggerheads also offers daily food and drink specials, coffee, and dessert items. Or try our Sunday breakfast buffet available until 2 p.m. At night, you and your friends can enjoy local entertainment or various bar games. Loggerheads is located in Cole Center, 5 blocks from the California Business District.
Don't be fooled by imitators. We're talking the real deal here. Accords and Civics in stock, in style, and ready to move. Don't settle for less. Step up to Honda Odyssey, the ideal family vehicle. And don't let yourself down. The rugged and functional new Pilot, the Honda of SUVs. Get the vehicle you want at the price you want from a dealer you know. Washington Honda.
Dynamite deals right here today. Come on in, you're number one.
Welcome back to Adamson Stadium, continuing with our coverage of the 2006 Outdoor Track and Field Championships here in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Ben Slazek with Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith also joining us today. And Scotty, you know, it's everything you thought it would be so far. We've seen a lot of close races. Two of the premier events, we had the 4x100, and now we're going back to a little bit of a middle distance run here. We have the women and men's 1500 meters.
Well, this is another tough event that's coming up today. This is a 4 full laps of basically as fast as you can run for as long as you can run. We're going to see a lot of competing between runners, and we're going to see basically a great race.
Erica Hoffman out of IUP, considered one of the favorites. She'll be in the middle lane, qualified with 4:40.
4:40. Now we're not running a complete mile. We're only running about 3 3/4 of a mile, so we're not getting the full 1,600 meters of a mile.
The PSAC meet record, 4:30, set in 1985 by Julie Bowers. The PSAC record, 4:23.70, set in 89 by Eileen Hornberger. Provisional time is 4:44. The automatic time is 4:27. Looking at the top qualifiers yesterday was Erica Hoffman with a time of 4:40.64.
I do not foresee any record breaking today in this race, but this race shall come down to the end.
Last year's 1500 won by Danielle Mousley out of Kutztown. Hoffman actually finished second.
And now, on the track, the women's metric mile, the 1,500-meter run, and the 11 athletes.
11 athletes in this event. A pair from Kutztown. And I believe they're the only team with multiple participants. And we saw that work out to Lockhaven's benefit in the steeplechase, the men's steeplechase. And this isn't quite the 5,000, Scotty. So are you looking again where competitors can either decide fast start or?
As you see in the beginning, you're looking to get as best position as possible from the start. As you see here, top runners are getting boxed in, and especially.
Explain that.
Well, when you start off, you try to start off because you always want to get in front in a race like this, because if you get boxed in, you won't be able to move. You'll be stuck in a position like 7 or 8, and from there on, you'll be stuck in a pack, and you really won't be able to excel to your top speed to get out in the open and start running. What you want to do in this race is really run your race, and by being boxed in, you're not going to be able to run your race.
Edinburgh's Michelle Kelly, who is 17th in the NCAA, did not qualify for this event coming in.
Injuries could plague her. She might have had a bad preliminary race.
And in the lead, it is Erica Hoffman from IUP. Right behind her is Desiree Bauer. We mentioned her name a couple races ago.
There's a nice wrap job there for. Oh, I can't see. I think it's a Mansfield runner. She looks like she's in a little bit of pain.
And this is another one of those races you'll see some of these competitors competing in the other middle distances, the
800,
the 800 and the 400, mostly,
or the 3,000.
Right now it's still Hoffman, small little gap now being narrowed as we have a pack of about 6 runners near the front.
You see each runner is running their own race. They're really running very loose at this point. They're not tightening up yet with 2 laps left.
And it's still Hoffman ahead out of IUP.
This is what a distance race is, a front pack and a back pack, not a lot of different ones.
Hoffman out of St. Mary's. And coming up now is number 4, Farnsworth, another IUP competitor. And Bauer and a host of other competitors. And Slippery Rock with a pair coming across now. We're 2 laps down. We're 2:17 on the clock. Again, not see any records falling here.
But it is starting to get nicer outside. That's all that matters.
And I think we're going to see our first lead change here as Hoffman is being tested near the front. And just as I say that, she takes a couple strides forward and pulls away again.
Yes, that first lead runner for the first 2 laps was really just a rabbit to get people started, to get the pace set. From here on out, Hoffman's going to go and run basically the race from here on out.
Continue to be tested now as she's pulling away with another competitor and then 4 behind her.
And that's, again, what you'll do. Sometimes will happen with teammates. You'll have one make sure that they qualify so that they can help the other one out, but it will also help your time in the end as well.
And we do have our lead change. Hoffman now dropped to second. Erin Richard from Clarion, a sophomore, is now pulled away.
Yes, she has.
And now Nicole Dan from Mansfield competing with Hoffman as the bell lap is sounded.
Coming across that at about 3:30.
The provisional time is 4:44.
Well, she should be able to make that if she keeps this pace.
We haven't heard much from Clarion. They were down there in the team standings. And Richard starting to lengthen her lead.
Richard is starting to lengthen her lead and also lengthen her strides as she comes right down coming down to this last turn here. She's going to really open up her top speed and sprint right down to the finish.
What's that, about 20 meters she has right now?
She's going to open up her strides around this corner and then probably as fast as she can sprint at the end.
Coming up on the final 100 meters. She's also a 3,000 meter runner. She's ranked nationally there, but it's going to be hers to lose in the 1,500 meter, and it doesn't look like anything's going to happen. A race for second and third, however, as Erin Richards going to win the gold, as it's Farnsworth from IUP and Dan from Mansfield, and it's going to be Dan from Mansfield finishing second.
Wow, that was a great race.
Good race for second and third.
And Hoffman, who was leading for most of the race, finishes fifth, and the time is 4:36.92.
Very, very good race run by everybody.
So Clarion will get their first points of the day, at least as far as the afternoon goes. We have the updated standings after the relays. Slippery Rock won first, Shippensburg second, California third. The men's rankings, we'll go through those real fast. Bottom to top. Clarion, Mansfield, Cal, Cheney, Millersville, Edinburgh, Westchester, Kutztown, Stroudsburg, and then the top four. Indiana with 47, Ship 67. Lockhaven, after that big steeplechase race, now up into second with 69, only a point and a half behind Slippery Rock at 70.5. And now in the women's, Clarion, Bloomsburg, Mansfield, Stroudsburg, Westchester, Edinburgh, IUP, and then Ship with 40, Kutztown 45, Lockhaven 62, and Slippery Rock 88.
Wow.
So Slippery Rock right now 1-1 in both men and women. We've also have some footage coming up from the track and field events that were taking place over in Rodman Park. We had some results also that were up on the screen earlier. I saw, maybe throw those up. As we get set for the men's 1,500, where we will have some California participants.
California participants. It will be good to see some Cal runners finally in individual events. We actually have two runners in here.
Yeah, we do. Ryan Morovic, who's from nearby Bell Vernon, and Kenny King, a freshman. Kenny King's from Pittsburgh.
It seems like there's a lot more runners in the men's race than there will be in the women's, but I don't know if that's just from looking in this direction.
Oh, no, I think you're correct. The women's had 11. The men's will have 16. Looking at the top qualifier from yesterday, two runners really separated themselves. Cummings from Mansfield, 347.27, and Hansloven from Shippensburg, 347.59. 347 is the automatic time for the NCAA. 354 is the provisional time. The records in this event, the 1,500, Gary Bicking from Shippensburg, the championship record back in 1980. Carl Leonard from Edinburgh, also 1980, the all-time record. And this event last year was won by John Summers of Shippensburg. Hansloven, we mentioned him, actually finished second. And if California wants to start moving up the team standings, a good showing here would be
well, all you got to do is get into the top 8 and you'll get some points. Any points matter at this stage in the game.
Morovic from California. Kenny King. Looking at some of the other names out there. Summers, last year's winner, will be in lane 3. He ran 3:51. Well, not lane 3 in the distance run, but he's numbered 3. We mentioned Hansloven, so a pair of Shippensburg runners with impressive credentials in this event.
Now I know this event has preliminary runs, and in this preliminary runs, you really don't want to win, because when you win, you're starting on the inside, and like I said in the women's race, you get boxed in if you're on the inside, which makes it more difficult, really, to run your race.
We're still getting ready for the event, and the sun once again went away. Seems like when we have a men's event come up, the sun doesn't want to come out.
And I am told we will get to that other footage after this race.
Well, while we're waiting, we got official for the triple jump.
All right.
We got Jermaine Clayton from Indiana University of Pennsylvania coming in with a jump of 48.7. Yeah, that's it. And then we also got Eric Broadbent, a junior out of Westchester, jumping 48.4. Preston Gibbs out of Slippery Rock, a junior, jumping 47.8. And that's your top 3 right there, and pretty good jump so far. In the NCAA provisional, it was 47.05, and it looks like top two got in. So congratulations to them.
Something like over 1,000 athletes competing in all these events.
Competing, I have no clue where, but I'm sure it'll come within the next week. So you don't have much time to prepare.
I believe there are 30 events today, somewhere around that number. Because we're having some PA problems with the mic.
We can see in the infield on the other side that the hurdlers are getting ready to have their races soon, and
those will be immediately following these. This event scheduled to take place at 12:35 our time. If you're watching this at home, and it's obviously not 12:35. The hurdle's set to take place at 12:50. And then we will see the women and men's 400, then the 100-meter dash, the 800, 400 hurdles, 200, 5,000 for men, 3,000 for women, and then the 4x4 to end the day.
Oh, the 4x4.
Got a lot of exciting events coming up.
Now, while we have a couple minutes, what events did you run in or participate in, Scott?
Well, in high school, I ran the mile, which is this race right here, but I ran an extra 100 meters. It was the 1,600-meter race in high school. And I also ran the 2 mile, which is 3,200 meters, if you feel like your meters. And I've also had my luck in getting in the 4x4. So,
as you take a look at the women's discus finals, Ginger Williams from Lock Haven, if you followed us on CTV, may recognize that name. She's also a player for She also plays basketball at Lock Haven. Was actually second team all conference for the Lady Eagles. As you take a look at the standings there. And Steph, what was your area of expertise?
Oh, I did a little bit of everything. I was the 400 runner, 800. I did high jump, 4x800, which they don't have today. And I did the 4x400, pretty much wherever they needed it.
As the whistle is sounded, 16 competitors. The final event of page 1 of our program here. Thank you for joining us on CTV. This is a new experience for us. First time that anybody can remember us covering the track championships, and a nice crowd here, and the weather's kind of cooperated. At least it has not rained.
Yes.
But the wind continues to blow, and the runners are now at their mark, and bang bang, we're underway. And again, you see, as Scott mentioned, the runners trying to get that early lead, get out in front, get out away from the other competitors, so they're not all boxed in.
And they'll probably relax, get settled into the group in the first 200, and then try to get into where they think they should be.
3.5 laps. Again, the top qualifying times were 3:47. Again, yesterday's numbers may be a little inflated because of the kind of day it was compared to today. And a massive pack as we cross the first line. If you want to pick somebody in front, we'll go with Drew Nesbitt out of East Stroudsburg. He's in the blue on the inside.
Oh, well.
What's the first time we've seen this one sustained group through the first half lap and a half, so to speak?
Nobody wants to really make a good push for it yet. They're not really settled in, but now you'll see some are trying to go.
Couple competitors for Shippensburgen's event. We mentioned Summers, last year's winner. He's number 2, 4:01 to qualify. Richard Hansloven, number 7, 3:47 was the top qualifying time.
They're still in a pack. They're going to make this interesting and probably make it a sprint to the finish, which everybody here will enjoy.
We saw our first real close one in the Steeplechase. And then it kind of trickled down. We've had some good races. The women's distance races were, if you want to call it a blowout.
This could be potentially dangerous right here with all these runners packed. You're going to see somebody try to make a move, try to cut out to the east. Look at the East Stroudsburg man trying to really get out to the outside and make his way to the front.
And Indiana just cut up in the front of there. He was all the way out in lane 4 and was just like, why not?
Yeah, when you come to a turn, you really don't want to be on the outside because, as you know, going around the track, the inside lanes are the shortest lanes distances, and once you protrude yourself outside, you're really running more than you have to.
Eric, I'll try this. Eric Crutchnit right now is ahead of the pack.
Works for me.
In the maroon with the longer hair. Now that I look at, his time was actually the fastest. I apologize. No, I was correct the first time. Scratch that last statement, Ben. As they catch the back turn, 2:35. And coming up on about 500 meters now to go.
You're going to see runners start to pick up speed as they come down to the last lap.
All but one of the runners in that pack.
Lockhaven just pulls
this last lap is going to be under a minute. I'm going to say under a minute.
It's Corey Spadell from Lockhaven.
And there's the bell.
You're going to see about a 56-second last lap.
3 minutes as they hit the bell lap. And now they're single file.
This is an all-out sprint from here.
This is what you train for.
This is huge.
We have to stand.
Well, it's for warmth, too. And Spadell has been passed at the top.
I think that's Shippensburg.
About 250 meters, Chris Cummings. From Mansfield near the front. And then the Shippensburg runners also at the front.
Got to come down to the end. We're going to have a lean here.
Wow.
As the crowd starts to gather and come on its feet.
There's a big push coming from the third competitor.
This is, wow.
And they're 3 across, coming to the front, coming on the outside. It's Cummings.
Whoa.
And Cummings is going to win.
Congratulations.
3:57. He came all the way from the back.
Should be 2 Shippensburg runners.
Summers and Hansloven will finish 2-3, but it's Chris Cummings, a junior out of Mansfield, and he made his move around the 150 mark. Cummings from Mansfield, a junior from Mansfield, PA, beat last year's number 1 and 2 runners right there.
Here's the ending again. You can see how close they really are. One's in lane 1, one's on the line of lane 1 and 2, and one's in lane 2. Wow.
Big finish.
So we've gone through quite a bit of events. We've seen the Steeplechase, the 5,000, a couple 1,500 meters, and I believe we have a report coming in on tape. And we're going to take a look at some of the throw events that took place a little while ago. John McGuire brings us some of the field events here at the PSAC Track Championships.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of Track and Field Championships. Ready for women's finals in javelin throw. And the Lockhaven thrower is Audrey Hoogler. And Hoogler's first throw in the finals. Good distance. But the mark to beat is 136 feet, which is over the NCAA provisional of 133. That's set by Amber Moore from Slippery Rock. Maybe the sun is going to come out here, hopefully. We'll see what happens. So far, it's been a very overcast and cool afternoon. $113 the first throw for Audrey Hoogler here in the final round. And now Jess Chong from East Stroudsburg. That's a good throw. 111 and 6 inches for Jess Chong. 113 and 111 so far the first 2 throws here in the finals. And now Lindsay Householder. She's got to beat 116. (109 feet 5 inches). That puts her in 3rd position. So it is Audrey Hoogler. My correction, the first thrower was Cammie Roth of Lock Haven. And now another thrower from the Lock is ready to go with the 4th throw in the finals. Got to beat 116. Under 9 feet even. And now Ashley Highfield from Edinburgh University, only a sophomore. And is a foul on the throw. Tough break for Ashley Highfield here in the finals.
Well, McGuire's got some hope in the 2008 Olympics. We'll be right back at the track championships right after this. Welcome back to the PSAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships here at Adamson Stadium. Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith, as it continues to get cold. What you last saw before we went to commercial was John McGuire's report from the Javelin Finals, which were won by Callista Schoaf from Slippery Rock. Amber Moore, also from Slippery Rock, finished second. Both those qualified with throws of 139.06 and 136.11, respectively. Through 12 events in the women's standing, Slippery Rock now in first place with 107 points. Lock Haven well back with 74, Kutztown 50, IUP 43. We'll take a look at the shot put later on. But we saw a great race in the last event we had, the 1500 men's. Now we're going to go back to one of the shorter events, Scott, in the 100-meter hurdles.
Yep, the 110 meter.
Or excuse me, 110. Am I mistaken?
Is this women's or men's? If this is women's, I believe that is the 100 meter hurdle.
Yes, it's 100 meter.
Yes, women's is 100 meter hurdles. The men run an extra 10 meters for some odd reason, I guess. Longer legs, more distance between the hurdles. The hurdles do have to be moved when this event is over. But we're in for a pretty interesting race. You're going to have to keep your focus on lanes 3, 4, and 5, as those are going to be your top runners.
Well, Slippery Rock has kind of moved themselves ahead in the women's event, and they have a great chance here as they have put no fewer than 4 competitors. Half the field are wearing green and white right now.
That's amazing.
Andy Rose, who's actually the PSAC record holder and championship meet record holder in this event. She'll be in lane 4. She qualified with the top time, 14.05. And I would call her a favorite here, Scott.
With 14.05, I believe that will be a favorite.
Rose, a junior out of Wheeling Inn, West Virginia. Other competitors, Jamie Ferraro from East Stroudsburg in 1, Doherty from Slippery Rock in second. Anna Mack from Shippensburg in 3. Andy Rose, Slippery Rock 4th. Jill Rekich, who was on the 4x100 meter team, as was Rose. She's in 5. Deanne Scardino from Westchester in 6. Melissa Sofer from Slippery Rock in 7th. And Jacqueline Pfeiffer from Kutztown rounds out the field in 8th.
A big thing about running hurdles is time between the hurdles. Oftentimes, runners will have probably 3 or 4 steps between, and then they know that's the leg that they're going to go over the hurdle with. Some runners will alternate legs, and some will stay on the same legs, whichever they feel comfortable taking off with. But you'll be able to see in this race, not as much as in the longer race, the 400-meter hurdles, that you'll see people stutter to get, if their steps are off, they will stutter to get over the hurdle. It will mess up your timing, and it will probably knock you out of whatever position you are in.
Rose won this event in 2004, did not compete last year. Sunny Doherty finished second. She's in this race. Tanisha Lacey from Shippensburg won this event. Ferraro, we mentioned her name. Scardino, she's all in this. Pfeiffer. So all these competitors were in this event last year as well and placed.
Especially in this race, you're going to see Andy Rose come out, and you're going to see her take off and never look back as she jumps over each one of these hurdles.
And how about Slippery Rock kind of just pulling themselves away in the women's team competition here?
That's what you got to do. If you have the strength to intimidate another team so much as to pull ahead this early in the meet, go have fun, go right for it.
We're going to take a look in a little bit too at the remainder of the exciting javelin event, and as well as the shot put, I'm told. Did McGuire bring us the shot put as well? All right. We'll be pitching it on Ash Street later on this evening.
The 11-pound round ball.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. I believe the men's is 11 pounds. This could be high school. I don't know the collegiate level. And I think 7 pounds is for the women's.
Pounds.
McGuire also will be calling the Eukanuba Dog Classic, taking place outside Van Meter later on this evening. It's nice to have Johnny McGuire back.
We're getting ready to start.
As the whistle blown, as you see the pole vault still going on.
White flags are up.
15
and
feet.
explain the flags.
Oh, the white flags are if everything's okay. Red flag is basically a disqualification or if there's something wrong.
And how far are the hurdles, Steph? You said 15 feet or so between hurdles?
Yeah, there's if you're in a good stride, it's 3 or 4 strides between.
All right, you're looking at looking at green and white basically. Rose, Rekich in the middle, 4 and 5. Your top speeds, the only 2 to break 15 seconds, and Rose demolished. She's also the conference record holder in this event. She set that earlier this year with a time of 13.92. 13.8 is the auto qualifier, 14.65 is the provincial.
Let's see if she gets the record here.
And there's the gun, and right in the middle you see a green and white, and it's Rose in 4, and she's not looking back. Some close competition in lanes 1 and 3, but it's going to be Andy Rose clearing with a time of 13.94.
Wow.
Slippery Rock finishes first. Again.
Is that a record? PSAC record?
No. It's a meet record, but not an overall record. So Andy Rose just dominating as she helps her team win the 4x100.
And she didn't hit any of the hurdles. She glided right through them. It was very, very well run race.
Anna Mack from Shippensburg finishes second. Jamie Ferraro from Stroudsburg finishes third. But the female runners from Slippery Rock, they've had a much maligned year. A lot of their programs being cut and done away with, but their women's track team right now is putting on quite an impressive display. As we get set for the men's hurdles, the 110 hurdles, let's go over to the palatial confines of Rodeman Park. John McGuire, how about some more javelin?
Ready for her next toss. Getting down to the end as Amber Moore awaits her distance. 124 feet 2 inches. And I think that just about does it for women's javelin here this afternoon. First place probably awarded to Callista Schaff of Slippery Rock University, the senior thrower. A distance of 139. Here in the final round, she'll go home with the gold medal. So the Rock takes the gold. Second will be Amber Moore with her distance of 136. So the Rock go 1-2. The third place up for grabs. Not sure the official standings there. But Slippery Rock takes the first 2 spots in women's javelin here this afternoon. We'll wait the official. It should go through the official order of finish.
Well, that was our javelin, and again, Slippery Rock doing well in that event. They've won the last couple races we've had, and I can't wait for shot put, Scott. Are we getting any hammer or discus in? That's all I want to know.
Hammer and discus, no, that was yesterday.
Oh,
so
shoot.
We do not have any footage from that.
Well, as you said, the men's meters is a little further. It's 110 meters. And the top time put in yesterday by another Slippery Rock athlete, Shane Cooper, 14.7. The record for the meet is 14.16. The PSAC record is 13.9, which is also the auto record, and the auto qualifier provincials 14.7. As you take a look at some of the pole vaulting going on in the background, as that bar has raised quite a bit over the last hour or so that we've been here.
And I think there's only 2 or 3 people left. Oh.
And that did not clear. When we get the results, we'll pass those along to you. But we'll get the lane assignments here in the men's 110 meter. Justin Gibbs from Kutztown will be in 1. Tyree Cooper is also a wide receiver from Cheney in lane 2. Multidiscipline, you cover all the sports, you get to meet all the athletes here in Division 2. Paul Martin from Lock Haven, we haven't heard from Lock Haven in a while, they're in lane 3. Shane Cooper from Slippery Rock in 4. Bernard Richards from Shippensburg in 5. Kurt Redley from Kutztown in 6. Brian Reed from IUP in 7. Marquise Pincus from Millersville in 8. As we take a look at more vaulting. Thank you for spending your afternoon or evening, whatever it may be, here with us at CETV. Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith. Our final shoot of 2006. What a year it has been here at CETV. Our 20th year anniversary. We had our 20-year gala spectacle last night. And some of us are a little worse than for wear, but like the true pros we are, as that individual gets over the bar. What did we say, 15-6?
15-7.
15-7. We're here bringing you something you don't get to see on TV a whole lot, and that's track and field.
There should be more track and field on TV.
There was an event on last weekend, if I recall.
The VC Championships.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for their World Championships.
Over in France, I believe.
I think it's in France as well.
And track, it's one of those sports. It's not a big money sport like what. No, it's mostly an amateur type thing. And outside of the Olympics and once a year when you have the U.S. Championships or, as you mentioned, the World Championships, there's not a whole lot of attention paid to.
Well, the Home Depot really sponsors the VC Championships and all the track meets at Stanford University that they usually have out in California. So track is an upcoming sport. I wouldn't say it's the most popular, but it is a great sport to get involved and really stay focused in.
I think a lot of that has to do with the kind of the individual aspect of it as opposed to a team. And you think collegiately and, you're thinking, college ball.
Yep.
And there's, as we said, this is more of an individual thing, and it just pertains to your school or your country, your team, whatever it may be. No, Olympics, they don't even have teams. Do they have a team championship too, Olympic-wise?
No, just the USA competes. You compete for your country. which is interesting because track and field athletes only have a limited time to be involved in activities. You only have a lifespan of until you're about 30, 35, until you have to retire due to just age.
Younger, faster.
Age, yes.
Younger, faster, stronger. Don't I know it?
Yeah, but then it's interesting when you get to like the Boston Marathon and you have older people come because it's a road race and more people can run. And I just lost my little tag.
And now they are bringing them up to the starting line for the 110 meters. And you mentioned it's 10 meters further from the women. Is there any specific reason or rationale for
there is
that?
a reason because, as you know, men are normally taller than girls. That way they cover more distance on a stride. That way you're not jamming the men up on shorter distances. Men are able to take an equal amount of strides as women. I guess the number is 3 or 4 between each. And the hurdles have been moved up.
Cooper from Cheney in lane 2, ranked 18th in the country in this event. Last year, this event run by Ron Jett. Cooper finished 3rd in this event last year. Richards, who's also competing today, was 6th.
If we were still looking at pole vault, the guy that's going after whatever height he's going after, he's not making it, and it doesn't look like he's anywhere close.
The wind has really picked up the last 10 minutes or so.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And this is one of those events where the wind can really mess with your timing and your times.
Luckily, they're running with the wind instead of towards it, or else.
Well, we're into the wind no matter which way we turn.
Yeah, very true.
The runners are going to get that push, driving them over the hurdle.
And this is one of the events where they check the wind as far as times to to see if it would affect the records.
That's more professional standpoint, but rules apply for all.
And we got some of the premier events, the hurdles, the 400 follows this, then the 100.
Oh.
And the whistle has been sounded, and the runners will take their mark. Look for Cooper, Tyree Cooper, and Shane Cooper in this event, lanes 2 and 4. Slippery Rocks look strong in the last hour of events. Looking at another one, maybe sweep the 100 hurdles here. There they go. A good start in the middle from Shane Cooper at Slippery Rock. He's neck and neck. This is 3 across. Lanes 3, 4, and 5. And it looks like it's going to be Paul Martin. No, Shane Cooper comes out again.
Paul Martin getting second, and then
Bernard
Richards gets the bronze.
Well, it was the top 3 from yesterday. They went 1, 2, 3 yesterday. They'll go 1, 2, 3 today.
And here's the whole race. Once again.
Shane Cooper, 14:61 is the time.
The whole race in real time. Here we go. As you see Cooper start off strong, going over hurdle. Jumping over with the same leg.
Ooh, nice little slow down there to see the...
Come to the lean. And Cooper just beats Richards.
14:61, that's faster than he ran yesterday. And Slippery Rock takes both the men and the women 100. And now we're going to go back to the throwing events. We saw the javelin. We escaped that injury free. Let's take a look at a big ball of cement, the shot put. John McGuire.
We'll have the results. Yep, Callista Schaff. Amber Moore, 136 second. And Lindsay Clark of Millersville was third with 129 feet. That's your top 3. So 2 from the Rock, 1 from Millersville, and women's javelin. If you want to get the full order of finish, visit www.calvulcans.com and the PSAC Track and Field Finals. There's a link right there on the website. Check out the complete order of finish to see where perhaps your athlete from your school finished here this afternoon in women's javelin. Nearing the end of men's shot put. And every time we go back to the throwing circle, it's always the Moose. Marlon Anderson ready to throw again. And that's a foul by Marlon Anderson, the Moose. Goes out of the circle, his first foul here this afternoon. And now they're going to recalculate the numbers and see where everybody stands. That possibly could be it. That could be the final throw. Looks like it is the final toss in men's shot put. We'll keep a listen out for the final standings. I want to thank everybody who got this moment. Thank you for tuning in to CUTV's coverage of the Track and Field Outdoor Championships here in 2006. Whenever there's sports going on, we cover it, folks. Our final coverage of the year. I want to thank J.R. Wheeler, thank Gary Smith, the entire crew. Same thing goes here. We'll get the official results, and then if you any other questions or want to see where the athletes finished, just go to calvulcans.com.
At Papa John's, we believe you can't get too much of a good thing, so we've loaded on the works. More imported olives, more baby portobello mushrooms, more fresh sliced green peppers and onions, more ham, more thick sliced pepperoni, and plenty of Italian sausage. Papa John's New Works Pizza. More toppings all the way to the edge. You expect the best. We deliver.
Order the family special now for just $18.99. That's a large Works pizza and a large 2-topping pizza for only $18.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Everyone is different, but everyone needs a little help sometime. I'm Ray Vinson, and whether you're just getting started or if you need some help to make that next move, American Equity Mortgage gives you the peace of mind you need to focus on your family and career. Perfect credit or less than perfect credit, we want to help you enjoy life more. When you call American Equity Mortgage, you'll see how easy it is to discover happiness with a loan tailor-made for you. American Equity Mortgage. 412-366-9999.
Welcome back to Adamson Stadium. About halfway through the PSAC Track and Field Championships, Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, and Stephanie Smith. We're getting set for the women's 400 meters. Before that, we have the quick results from and standing update from the last two. We'll start with the women's, and these are the events following the women's 100-meter hurdles.
Yeah, and the 100-meter hurdles was won by Andy Rose, a junior from Slippery Rock University with the PSAC record. She holds the PSAC record already, but she added a 14.08 second, and she qualified for the NCAA provisional meet. And in second from Shippensburg, senior Anna Mack. And third, Sunny Doherty from Slippery Rock. We have, right now, Slippery Rock is in first place in the women's team standings with 131 points, and the closest one is Lock Haven with 74 in second.
Well, we'll get to the men's after this race, but getting set for the women's 400 meters. And this is one of those events. It's one lap around the track, and this is one of the your premier events. Taking a look through Megan Fogel, who was also the third leading scorer in the PSAC this past year for Shippensburg. She'll be in lane 1. Marissa Rolling in lane 2 from IUP. Maggie Borden from Lock Haven. So forth down the line. The top qualifying time was from Kutztown, Tor Agbadaye, a freshman from Kutztown. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Last year was won by Tawny Yautz from East Stroudsburg, 57-54. The record time this event is 54-19, 54 even. Automatic qualifier 56-6, the provisional qualifier.
I'm fascinated by the fact that the number one seed does not have starting blocks. I'm not even going to try her last name because we all know I'd butcher it worse than Ben did.
Yeah.
That's the runner set.
It's Dufon Tor Agbadaye. She's from Stewartstown, New Jersey, and we are underway.
This race brings back memories.
Here's a tough race we got, running your top speed for a full 400 meters, which is a full lap.
Laviano from Westchester, Gardner from Slippery Rock, pulling towards the front. Frankowitz from Mansfield in the outside lane, but right now in front it is Gardner from Slippery Rock, who put together quite a streak here recently. They take the final turn, the last turn in the back.
This is really close for a... Ooh.
About 150 meters to go, 33 seconds so far on the pace.
We got to stand now. We're getting some people in our way. But this is a really good finish coming right down to the end, but Kutztown seems like she's going to pull away.
Dufon Tor Agbadaye in second, but it's going to be Allison Gardner from Westchester pulling in front, and she will take the 4x400, lane 3. Maggie Borden from Lockhaven finishes third. So you're looking Westchester, Kutztown, Lockhaven across the front.
Oh, well, that was a great race run by all competitors. It was very close in the entire thing, but right at the end, Westchester pulled it out, and you could see at the end when she was shocked to be getting it as well.
Yeah, I said the wrong name. It was Dana Glaviano, the senior from Westchester. She is victorious in the 400.
Here's where it's really close, and she just seems like she wanted it more, and she pulled it from somewhere, and she won. Right across the finish.
So the 400 meters in the book, and Westchester, that's the first time we've mentioned that school.
Yeah.
And as we get set for the men's 400 now, Scott, you have the update after and the results from the 110 meters and what the men's team standings are.
For the men's 110-meter hurdles, Shane Cooper, for a senior from Slippery Rock, comes in at 14.61 for first place and title of the PSAC champion. Paul Martin, freshman from Lockhaven, comes in at 14.64, only a couple hundredths of a second behind. Bernard Richards comes in a third, junior from Shippensburg, 14.72. Justin Gibbs, and Tyreek Cooper, and Kurt Redley. And for the men team ranking, Shippensburg is pulled ahead with 109 points, Slippery Rock with 87.5, Lockhaven with 80 points, and Indiana with 49 points. So Shippensburg looks to be in control.
Yeah, both those men and women's now through 13 events. I want to thank John McGuire, the future host of Antique Roadshow, for doing reporting from the other end of the field. As we get set for the 400 meter, we'll take a look at one of the favorites in the events and the winner in last year's 400 meter, our very own Brad Rager, who will be in lane 4. He had the top qualifying time, 47.32. Won last year's event with a time of 48.32. And this is one of the events that Brad has, he's our friend and all, but he's dominated the PSAC in the meets this year in this event.
Yeah, and last year he was the 2005 PSAC Outdoor Championship MVP, and he won the 200 and the 400 meter. And in qualifying, he matched the PSAC meet record with a 47.23 seconds in the 400 meter.
Brad was also, I believe, Rookie of the Year, Newcomer of the Year in the PSAC track. He'll be in lane 4. Some of the other competitors, Kyle Wunce will be in lane 1, a freshman from Edinburgh. Wyatt Hall, lane 2 from Millersville. John Reed, not Brad's roommate, but John Reed, junior from Stroudsburg in lane 3. Fortuano from Slippery Rock, a freshman in 5. Matt Carroll in 6 from Kutztown. Slippery Rock with Gara Christian, a senior in lane 7. And Eric Baker out of Shippensburg, lane 8, round out these 8 competitors. Following this event will be another one of the biggies, the 100-meter dash.
Yep. Two really high-intensity races right after another. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some of the people running this 400-meter dash running the 100 right after this.
I'm taking a look, and actually there's no, they're all different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably one of the changes from a small high school to a university.
But the wind in this kind of event, and it's starting to whip around a little bit, and that could have a little bit of problem, Scott, I think, with the especially around the turns and whatnot.
Once you hit that backstretch on the far side, you're going to see runners just hit a block of wind and really put their head down and try to compete with the wind, but they're not going to prevail because the wind is just whipping around too fast here at Adamson Stadium.
We really wish it would stop, but
It'd be nice for us and the runners.
Yeah, the runners will probably be good until about the last 100 meters because they'll hit the way that the wind is blowing, and it might be bad.
The record for this event, the championship meet record set by Christopher Day of Westchester back in 1995, and Scott Eisenhart set the all-time PSAC record, 46.57, back in 2002. The provisional time is 48 seconds. The automatic time is 46.5. Mentioned the top time was by Bradley Rager, the sophomore out of Bristol, Pennsylvania. 47.32. He's the only one to break 48 seconds. But a lot of the other times very close together. So this should be a pretty good race as well.
All the sprinting races will be really close. It shouldn't. Well, unlike the distance races, you don't have that much time in between, and it's gonna be good.
Everybody using blocks in this event. Rager the favorite. He's in the middle in the red and the white. Lane 4. And there's the gun.
Good start.
Around the first turn, everybody looks even.
Oh, Brad's kicking it in a little bit.
Carroll from Kutztown right now making a move, as is Rager on the outside. It's Matt Carroll from Kutztown ahead. Second is Baker from Shippensburg, but Rager's got the inside.
He's got the stagger on his advantage, and it looks like he's going to come around.
It's going to be Carroll and Rager down the stretch.
Rager's got to open up his strides here.
Inside 100 meters. Carroll and Rager. Rager slight edge. And it's going to be Brad Rager from California will take the 400. Carroll finishes second, and was Guerrera from Slippery Rock finishing third, 47.79. We'll take a look at that final stretch. You mentioned he opened up there, Scott, and that was really the difference in that final 100 meters.
Impressive towards the end there as you see him just sprinting down the home stretch, just trying to finish ahead of.
So the Vulcans will get their first place finish of the day. And Brad's unofficial time now that we're looking at it, actually his official time is 48.02. And considering how windy it is, especially as you said on that back stretch when you're running right into it, that's pretty impressive.
That is tough, and that win for California propels them all the way up to about 8th place. They move from 12th to 8th just with that win.
So first place is just that's the difference maker. That's 10 points. And so now we have seen the 400. Now we're going to go to the 100. As we take a look at Brad Rager's final 100 meters, bringing home first place for the California Vulcans. The women's 100 meters, followed by the men's 100 is next. You're watching the PSAC 2006 Outdoor Track and Field Finals right here on CUT.
Introducing Points from National City, the best banking rewards program. It gives you points for paying bills online, using your check card, or even writing checks. Everyday things, so the points really pile up fast. Then you redeem them for lots of things you'll find rewarding. Points from National City. Sign up today. It's free.
King Solomon was famous for his wisdom, and the Solomon Superstores are the smart choice for you.
Because a Solomon will beat your best deal every time.
Solomon has the best price, period. It's a no-brainer. And Solomon has 3 convenient locations.
Solomon Ford at routes 43 and 40, Centerville exit.
Solomon Chrysler Jeep Dodge, just across the street.
Or Solomon Chrysler Dodge, route 21 and 88 in Carmichaels.
At all locations, Solomon is the king of the best deal.
Welcome back to Adamson Stadium, continuing with CTV's coverage of the 2006 Track and Field Finals. Ben Slezak, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith. We saw the 400 and now the race to crown the, quote, fastest human, men and women, the 100-meter dash. But before we get to that, we have the updated and final statistics from the 400 and the updated team stats. Steph, we'll start with the women.
Yeah, they were just saying before when they were giving the medals to the women's 400-meter dash winners that Dana Jalavino, she's a senior from Westchester. Glaviano, thank you. She's been in the finals for 4 years, and she finally got first place in the event, so congratulations to her. She ran it in 56.34 seconds, and she qualified for the NCAA meet. And with that, then Slippery Rock is still in first place in the women's team's ranking with 136 points, and Lock Haven is in second with 80.
And we get set for the 100. The whistle's blown, the sweats are off. The top qualifier, Vera McDaniel from Slippery Rock, again, the top 2. Janice Rash also, she's a member of that 4x100. They're in lanes 4 and 5. They have to be the favorites. They were a half second better than everybody else in the field. Last year, this event won by Christy Carpenter from Millersville. The record time is 11:56. Provisional time 12:1.
Both are freshmen from Slippery Rock, so freshmen really coming out.
Wind has actually died down for a moment. Thank God. And there's the gun. Lanes 4 and 5 are Slippery Rock, and it looks like it's going to be in lane 5. Janice Rash pulling ahead of her teammate McDaniel. They'll finish 1-2, and very tight race for third. It looked like in lane 3, Danielle Scardino from Westchester may have snuck in there, but Slippery Rock is just dominating in the track events on the women's side.
It was a fantastic race coming down the stretch. The number 4 and 5 lanes really competing for first and second, and then the third place finish was just spectacular as it came right down to the end.
It says McDaniel ran it in 12:19, which is very good for this kind of condition for a sprinter.
Yeah, that's just a little bit 700ths off her pace yesterday. So Slippery Rock will finish 1-2, and then Scardino from Westchester 3 in the 100-yard. Congratulations to them. It'll be McDaniel 1, Rash 2, Scardino 3. Richards from Shippensburg finishes in the 4 spot. So we've crowned the fastest female in the state of Pennsylvania. Before we crown the fastest male in the men's 100, Scott, you have the final results from the men's 400 as well as the updated team stats.
The finals from the 400 men's meter dash, the outstanding Bradley Rager takes top position for a sophomore from California with 48.02. Matt Carroll comes in second, Gabe Fortunato comes in third, and the team ranking Shippensburg with still ahead with 110, Slippery Rock close behind with 96.5, Lock Haven with 80, Kutztown with 51, and California is in your 9th spot with 19 points. So that's your recap of your men's team rankings and your 400-meter dash men's. And as we come up to the men's 100-meter dash, we're looking at Silas Weasley to come out and...
We're actually right now taking a look at the awards given to the 400 meters. And there's Brad right in the middle with the plaque and the massive thighs. We, Brad works with us here at CUTV. We play our little flag football games and softball, and Brad is what you call a difference maker. So congratulations, Brad's going to need about 3 or 4 different trophy cases before his career here at California is over. I mean, in 2 years, he's basically done everything you can.
He's
as
been
an individual
undefeated.
athlete. Yeah.
It's amazing. Congratulations to him.
And now you take a look at the 100-yard, and you mentioned Weasley from from Cheney. He was the top qualifier, 10.67. The record in this event, Gerald Mack from Millersville, 1996, 10.26. And the all-time record, George Crunkleton from Slippery Rock, 1979, 10.2. Last year's event in the 100, Alton Richards from Shippensburg with a 10.7. Jamal James from Ship with 11.09. He's in this event. He'll be in lane 3. It'll be Terrell from Ship in 1, Turner from Kutztown in 2, James, Cyrus Wesley from Cheney in 4, Jermaine Clayton from IUP in 5, Akil Stokes in 6, Sean Kowick from Ship in 7, Kelvin Reyes from Millersville in 8th. You're looking at about 10 seconds here.
10-second spot, and you're going to see runners blast out of the blocks with they try to keep their bodies over their legs to start, and then as soon as they come down about halfway, they're going to start to lean upright to get that at that top speed. So
look for Wesley. He'll be in the blue in lane 4.
A lot of things are going to happen in this short 10 seconds.
You could explain it for an hour what's going on. And there's the gun and a great jump in lane 5 by Clayton. And Clayton looks like he's going to pull away 3 and 4. It'll be Clayton winning from IUP in 5, Jamal James from Shippensburg 2nd, and Cyrus Wesley from Cheney finishes 3rd. But what a start out of the block.
We have to see that out of the blocks again, because that could have been a false start. I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
That was a fantastic start off the blocks. Leaned all the way until halfway, just when he was supposed to. Got up and kicked the rest of the way in.
That was an amazing start.
10.5. That's faster than he ran yesterday.
Oh,
that's probably the fastest this weekend.
So it'll be IUP 1, Shippensburg 2. Cheney comes in 3rd as we've crowned the fastest men and women. It is Jermaine Clayton from Indiana and Vera McDaniel from Slippery Rock, the 2 winners of the 100-meter dash, excuse me.
We actually have the women's results already, and Vera McDaniel did get first. She is a freshman, along with her other freshman Slippery Rock teammate, Janice Rash. They were aided in 3rd place by sophomore Danielle Scardino from Westchester. And Slippery Rock is pulling ahead ever so slightly from the rest of the pack with 154 points, and Lock Haven is still in 2nd with 80. But Slippery Rock is pulling away. It's congratulations already to them for whatever they're doing up there. Keep it going.
Well, we've seen the 100. Next up is we go from short distance to a little longer distance. The 800 meters is up next. 2 laps around the track here at Adamson Stadium. And again, another one of those premier events as we wind down our coverage here on the 2006 Track and Field Championships. After the 800, we'll have the 400 hurdles, the 200, the 5,000 for the men, the 3,000 for the women, and then the 4x4 to close out the day.
You're going to see some more strategy in the 800. The first lap, you really you don't go full out. You take the lap a little slower, you find out your rhythm, and then the second lap is a full out sprint. It's just another 400, and it's a brutal race.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the 800 and more, the 2006 Outdoor Track and Field Championships, right here on Seed.
Highway, your best choice for savings, service, and selection since 1946.
GE's sensational summer savings celebration is going on now. Save up to $600 in rebates with the purchase of 5 qualifying GE Profile kitchen appliances, including the GE Profile refrigerator and the GE Harmony washer and dryer system. Visit Highway Appliance for complete rebate details.
The right brands, the right price, the right advice. Nice. Highway, exit 40 off Interstate 70. You're going to like us a lot.
As the new semester dawns, it dawns on you you'll need textbooks. Well, yeah, unfortunately, you are not alone. But this is college. There are no lines in college. College is for thinking. You realize eFollett, the world's largest provider of new and used college textbooks, is standing by, just waiting to take your order and deliver it to your door. People, get out of line. eFollett.com. New and used college textbooks.
Welcome back to Adamson Stadium, getting set for the 800-meter run. Look for number 5 in lane 5, Lindsay Householder from Shippensburg. She finished second in this event last year. The meet record is 2:10. The PSAC record is 2:05. Provisional is 2:15. Automatic is 2:08. And the top qualifier in this event is Michelle Kelly from Edinburgh, who was ranked nationally in this event, and she's going to be in the 4th lane at 2:15, but the lanes only matter for a short period of time, correct, Scott?
Yes, the lanes only matter until about the first 100 meters, and then you're going to hit a cone area, and then they're going to break off, and the first one to the inside of the track will probably most likely control the lead. But as you said, the provisional time was 2:10.
Yeah.
That's actually really quick. That can compete with most Division I schools.
2:15, my mistake.
2:15, I'm sorry.
My mistake.
2:15, that actually can compete with most Division I schools like Miami and Texas, because they only do run about 2:10, 2:15, so we're seeing some good runners here.
The championship and PSAC record both held from 1992 by Marty Marzak from Edinburgh.
Edinburgh has a thing with distance runners.
Yeah, well. And there's the gun, and we are underway. La Paragola from Stroudsburg, Shayla Sims from Lockhaven, Farnsworth from IUP, Kelly from Edinburgh, Incorvati from Ship, Holly Urban from Clarion, McGoldrick from Shippensburg, and Priscilla Jennings from Millersville round it out.
See, now you're going to see some of the different strategies. Some girls are, some ladies, I should say, are opening up their strides earlier and just striding out the first lap, and some of them are taking it a little quicker and hoping that they have a little more sprint in the second lap.
And we said this is 2 laps.
The first lap should be running about 1:10, 1:05, and then that last lap is going to be at a dead-out sprint for about a minute 400, so we should see some good times coming across.
About 500 meters to go now. As right now in front, it is Michelle Kelly from Edinburgh, and right behind her is Shayla Sims from Lockhaven.
1:06, very good pace. And there you go, you saw her pick it up a little bit. And that's all that's needed, is just that little kick to get you started, and it will just keep going if nobody else started with you.
And Kelly right now is pulling away from Shayla Sims, about a 8-9 meter run, and it's getting a little bit bigger as we talk.
Well, don't count your chickens before they hatch here. She's in for a tough run, because I know 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place are going to come up on her mighty quick.
About 250 meters to go. 1:36, the unofficial time.
They're going to hit this last 100, and they're going to all-out sprint to the finish.
200 to go.
She's opening up. It may be impossible to get her.
Still Kelly 1, Sims 2, and a race for 3. Incorvati right now in the 3rd spot, and she's making a move for 2nd. But right now it looks like it's going to be Michelle Kelly from Edinburgh. Incorvati making a move on the outside, but I don't think there's enough room left.
No. She'll get a solid 2nd. But
That's actually McGoldrick from Shippensburg. So it'll be Kelly 1 at 2:14, McGoldrick, and Shayla Sims. 2:14, again, faster than the times yesterday.
Oh. And we have the replay of the end of this race, and there you go. If you look at her, she's still very relaxed and knows what she has to accomplish, and whatever came of it, she won.
And Krista McGoldrick made a nice move around 200 meters or so to pass Shayla Sims to finish. So Edinburgh, who was quiet for a while, they put an athlete up on the top position with an unofficial time of, an official time now of 2:14.8. 9.54, which will qualify her provisionally for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and I think she's probably kicking herself a little bit. If we can see her down here, she's throwing her hands up. She probably thinks she could have. She had a little more in her, but you came home with the gold. You have the NCAAs coming up, and best luck to her.
Michelle Kelly, a middle distance junior out of Carlisle, PA.
We know Carlisle very well.
Yes. So that event's down, and before we get to the men's 800, Scott, you have a little update of what's going on so far today?
I have an update of the fastest men here at the PSAC Championships. Jermaine Clayton from Indiana University of Pennsylvania with that great jump to get outside of everybody else and get ahead of everybody else at 10.5. Jamal James from Shippensburg finishes with 10.67. Silas Weasley, who I thought was the favorite coming in, came in third with 10.71. And updated men team rankings, Shippensburg still ahead with 118. Slippery Rock not close behind with 105.5. Kutztown with 86.5. And Lock Haven University with 80 points. And California has dropped to that 11th spot still with 19 points.
As we get set for the 800 for men, 3 from Kutztown, 2 from Ship, 1 each from IUP, Millersville, and Bloomsburg, including last year's champion, Sean Strauman. And this will be a quick time. The top qualifier was Strauman, 153.67. He started in lane 4. We are underway.
He had a speedy start as well. He's going to go for it in a quick time.
Go ahead, Scott.
As you see the runners break for the inside there, try to get as limited amount of space to run as possible.
The record holder is Rick Killian in both meet and PSAC championships, around 150 back in 1981. Provisional time is 153. And right now Strauman's still setting a good pace for himself.
Oh, well, about the 300 mark, you have a 40-second 300 in an 800-meter race. That's very good.
That's a good number.
That's a very good number. If he can hold it for the rest of it, he's going to have a good time.
Strauman in the gray jersey in the inside lane. He's number 1. Second right now is Adam Malloy from Millersville.
59-second 400 and an 800. That's very good.
You're going to see this last lap be around 40, 49, 50 seconds.
It's still Strauman 1.
Still a very large pack, unlike what we saw in the women's race.
Now one of the Shippensburg runners, that's either Weiss or Marsh, has taken the lead.
And he got boxed in.
And now Strauman making another run. And that's Weiss, Greg Weiss, a junior from Shippensburg, making his move. Kendrick Marsh, the other Ship runner, finished second in this event last year. He's in the mix. And now he's making his move on the outside. Marsh and Weiss, the teammates from Shippensburg, they're 1-2, and here comes Strauman as well. And it's going to be Strauman pulling ahead of Greg Weiss and Kendrick Marsh. Shippensburg will finish 2-3, but Sean Strauman, for the second straight year, wins the 800 meters.
He fell all the way back to 6th place with 200 meters left to go and pulled it out right at the end. Wow. Congratulations to that guy.
And Marsh made quite a move around that same mark too, but Strauman just was right behind him the entire time.
Wow, he came out of nowhere. It looked like he was done, and then he opened up his strides and just kicked it into another gear, and no one could get him.
Strauman's time, 1:55.14. And deja vu, Strauman and Marsh finished 1-2 in 2005. They finished 1-2 in 2006. So the 800 meters is in the book. We're going to bring the hurdles right back out. The men and women's 400-meter hurdles are up next. Continuing coverage of the PSAC Track Championships right here on
You're going to like these guys, though. They're a pretty good crew. Everybody listen up. This is Levon.
Hey, Levon, I'm 1 team.
You're on the 120 today.
How are you?
So if there's anything you need, just ask these guys. They'll take care of it, all right?
Okay.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You ever been around anything this fast before?
Yeah, in my last job.
Well, you sound like you know what you're doing.
I do.
Loggerheads, the area's best in casual dining and entertainment. Loggerheads features cold drinks of every variety and a complete lineup of salads, sandwiches, gourmet pizzas, and nightly dinner specials. Loggerheads also offers daily food and drink specials, coffee and dessert items, or try our Sunday breakfast buffet available until 2 p.m. At night, you and your friends can enjoy local entertainment or various bar games. Loggerheads is located in Cole Center, 5 blocks from the California Business District.
Welcome back to the 2006 PSAC Track and Field Championship. Here on CTV, Ben Slizek, Scotty Flugler, Stephanie Smith, as we get set for the 400-meter hurdles, the women's, and we got a little recap of what's going on before this gets started. Steph?
Yes, we have the 800-meter run results for the women. In first place was senior from Edinburgh University, Michelle Kelly, with the time of 2 minutes and 14 seconds, and she qualified for the NCAA provisional meet. And in second place was Kristen McGoldrick, a freshman from Shippensburg University, with a time of 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Slippery Rock is now still leading by a lot, 154 points. Lockhaven is in second with 86. Shippensburg is in third with 69. Kutztown is in fourth with 60.
Goldrick, also a former high school classmate of our own, Josh Eaches.
Oh, that's right. I remember reading about that in the thing.
And coming up, we have the women's 400 hurdles. This event won by Laura Klein last year, and she is in this event as well, junior out of Kutztown. Scott?
I think we have time for our men's 800-meter run. Sean Strawman out of Indiana University of Pennsylvania, 1 minute 55 seconds. In first place, Kendrick Morris from Shippensburg with 1:55. And Greg Weiss, also from Shippensburg, with 1:56.66. And Shippensburg really is starting to pull away with 132 points. Slippery Rock is slowly falling with 105 points. Kutztown with 95.5. Lockhaven with 80. And near California University of Pennsylvania, Vulcans still with 19 points in 11th place.
Well, to be fair, California wasn't really considered one of the favorites in the overall team standings.
No.
But as we get set to start the 400 meters, one lap around with hurdles intermittently placed throughout. The record set back in 1987 by Heather Amell, and the meet record 2000 by Nicole Fry. Provisional times 1:03:30, 59 is the automatic, and the top qualifier is Andy Rose, who we've mentioned her name a few times today, looking to win multiples from Slippery Rock. She had the top time of 1 minute .53. Rekich, also from Slippery Rock, 1 minute 1 second .98. Three runners from Shippensburg. One more time, Ben. 3 runners from Slippery Rock, 2 from Ship, 2 from Kutztown, and Jamie Ferrero from East Stroudsburg. So we're starting to see a lot of the same names that were earlier. Rose won the 100-meter hurdles, and she'll be right there again today.
Normally, if in high school, if you want to run you normally start running out it's 300-meter hurdles in high school, and then sometimes they'll move you to the 100. But normally, if you run one, you run the other. And if you're good at one, you're probably good at the other as well, because it's the same rhythm of counting your steps in between and getting everything down. But with the higher distances that you run, the hurdles move down farther. Like for the women, it is down as far as it goes, so it's a little easier. And for the men, I think it's only 2 notches up, so it's a lot easier.
Sibahan Richards from Shippensburg in lane 1, Jamie Ferraro from Stroudsburg in 2, Rekich and Rose from Slippery Rock 3 and 4, Laura Klein from Kutztown in 5, Melissa Sofer from Slippery Rock also in 6, Jessica Donovan from Kutztown in 7, and Courtney Kostich from Shippensburg in lane 8. So Ship on the outside, 2 pair of freshmen. And then the Slippery Rock contingency looking to add to their already impressive day. 1 lap around.
There's a lot of green out on the track.
As the sun peers out, the wind is dying down, and Sunburn forthcoming.
Oh, you spoke too fast.
We hear that Rekich 19th in the country in this event.
That's.
And then there's Rose, who's number 10. So I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that those would probably be the favorites in this event.
Well, Shippensburg has a great opportunity to increase their point lead and get 26 points just in this event, because every runner that's in this event right now will get at least 1 point.
And looking at
there's only 8 lanes.
Yes, it's time to move up if you Slippery Rock can kind of cement their status here. There's only for each men and women, there's only 3 more after this. The 200 for each, the women's 3,000, the 4x4, and for the men it's the 200, the 5,000, and the 4x4. So we wind down our coverage. Look for green in 4 and 5. Excuse me, 3 and 4. Rose and Rekich. Klein not using the blocks in 5. Nor is her teammate Donovan in 7.
She should
Might be a coaching thing, maybe?
She should watch her hands in lane 5. She was really close to the edge of her lane.
And we're underway. And you see the hurdles are staggered until they get down to the back stretch here, the final 100.
And Slippery Rock's already out in front. You can tell she's made up the stagger.
And it's going to be the inside lane. That's Rekich in 3. And it's really a choice here between Rekich and Rose, who's going to and don't look past Sofer from Slippery Rock in the outer part in lane 6.
Rose is just taking this away. It's wow, her strides are open very well, and she's in complete control of this entire race.
It's going to be Rose, Rekich, and Klein 1, 2, 3 right now as we're in the final 75 meters. Rose ahead. Rekich about 5 behind her, and Klein making a push for second. And it's going to be Andy Rose, and we're going to see Klein pull ahead for the second spot, and Rekich finish 3rd. So Andy Rose with 2 first places on her own, a team relay, and she's putting a nice day together here.
We're going to look at the end backstretch about how Rose just took control. She had control of the race since the first time she went, the second time she went over the hurdle, she had the stagger already made up. She's dominated all hurdle events today.
Just over a minute on her time. And Andy Rose, the junior from Wheeling, West Virginia, putting together a nice day here at the 2006 Track Championships. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have the men's 400 meters. Thank you for spending your day with us here on CUTV.
I'll be ready to go in a minute.
Take your time. A vacuum. You like that, don't you? All right. Thirsty now, ain't you? Little Pepsi. Oh, man. Your vacuum cleaner ate my pants. There's nothing I could do.
Nothing chases chips like a Pepsi. It's the cola.
I think I'm pregnant. I never thought this could happen to me. What do I do now?
We can help at the Alternative Pathway Pregnancy Center.
You have options. Get the facts.
Do you know the morning after pill can have side effects?
You're probably confused right now. I'll explain your options so you can make an informed decision. It's your choice. Make a decision that you can live with for the rest of your life.
Getting set for the 400-meter men's hurdles here from Adamson Stadium. Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith. And this is going to be another quick one lap around.
Over some hurdles.
Last year's champion in this event was Mark Piccolo from Shippensburg, not in this event this year. Tony Hegedus, a junior from Kutztown, finished second. He will be in lane 6. It'll be Brian Kaufman from Ship lane 1, Marquise Pincus from Millersville in 2, Paul Martin from Lockhaven in 3, Bernard Richards from Ship in 4, Nate Shattuck from Slippery Rock in 5, Tony Hegedus from Kutztown, just mentioned him. Morinello from California in lane 7, and Notareshi from Slippery Rock in 8.
And I'm looking around here, and Jermaine Clayton, who won the 100-meter dash, has also won the long jump champion and the triple jump championship.
California with Anthony Morinello, yes, and Clayton, he's the one that had the outstanding star.
Jump, right?
Yeah,
yes.
Literally, and now we've proven he's an outstanding jumper.
Yes.
So the Vulcans will have Morinelli, the sophomore from Pittsburgh, going. He'll be near the top of your screen in lane 7. The top qualifier was Bernard Richards out of Shippensburg, 52.62 in this event. The record holder. And we're underway. Good start by Morinelli on the outside. But look for the middle lanes to come alive once we hit this back stretch. And Hegedus making his move in the black and the maroon. He's in front right now as we come up on 200 meters to go.
Oh, this is getting a little close.
Coming up on 150 meters.
They're dead even after that last hurdle.
Over the 8th hurdle.
Hegedus in front. Richards pushing his front. It's going to be Hegedus, and near the bottom of your screen.
Oh.
Takes out the hurdle, but he's still going strong. Somebody fell.
Ooh.
He was in second place,
Hegedus will be your winner.
Oh,
Hegedus, Richards from Shippensburg. And that was Paul Martin from Lockhaven that fell on the final hurdle.
I've done that before. It's not a good feeling.
And a nice applause here as Martin's going to finish up. You could even hear some of the other athletes encouraging him to finish. Nice job there by Pincus from Millersville. And we'll take a replay as Tony Hegedus, who finished second last year, will finish first in 2006.
Maybe we can see exactly what made him fall over the hurdle.
Well, not to say bad things about him falling, but that does help Cal's adventure out and getting higher seating.
Yeah, he hit the hurdle. His trail leg hit the hurdle, and it just dragged it down, and he couldn't recover from it.
So Kutztown finishes first. Richards from Shippensburg second. And I believe Shattuck from Slippery Rock finished third. So that's the 400. When we come back, one of the other quick races in the track championships, the 200 meters. We'll be right back here on CUTV.
Introducing Points from National City, the best banking rewards program. It gives you points for paying bills online, using your check card, or even writing checks. Everyday things, so the points really pile up fast. Then you redeem them for lots of things you'll find rewarding. Points from National City. Sign up today. It's free.
Do you know where you're going? Cal U's Tourism and Geography program gave me the direction I needed to build my career
in the world's largest and fastest growing industry.
A world-class academic adventure
dedicated to my professional development.
Graduate with experience.
Go places.
Welcome back to Adamson Stadium, continuing coverage of the PSAC Track and Field Championships. Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith. Glad you could join us here today on CTV. We have only 2 disciplines left, 4 races total, the men and women's 200, and then we will see the men and women's 4x400. And in the and we're going to have the women's 200 right now. And some familiar faces in this group, including Dana Glaviano, who won the 400 earlier for Westchester.
Yeah, and normally a 400 runner should be able to run the 200 too. So a lot of times you'll see a 100 runner or a 400 runner running a 200. You won't just see a strict 200 runner.
Glaviano finished second last year to Tawny Youts, who is no longer competing. It'll be Marissa Frankowitz from Mansfield in 1, Amanda Fetish from Mansfield in 2, Teresa Manera from East Stroudsburg in 3, Vera McDaniel, who won the 100 for Slippery Rock in 4, Glaviano in 5, Julie Ricardo from Ship 6, Sony Swanson from Clarion in 7, and Maggie Borden from Lock Haven in 8th.
Well, this should be a really good race. You have the 100-meter champion and the 400-meter champion in this race. So
this is the intermittent number between.
This is the big one. This will decide who actually is faster.
McDaniel topped qualifying time 24.7. She was the only one under 25 seconds. Next closest was Glaviano at 25.69, almost a full second behind.
Wow.
So you're thinking this might be McDaniel's race to lose, and they are underway.
A bad start by Slippery Rock. McDaniel had a really good start.
And McDaniel starting to pull away in 4. Right beside her is Glaviano in 5, but it's going to be McDaniel striding down the last 30 meters or so. She will win for Slippery Rock. Glaviano, second straight year, she'll finish second. And in lane 3, Manera from Stroudsburg finishes third.
That was a very not good start in lane 4, but everything ended up the way she wanted it to, so I guess the 100 fastest runner is also the 200 fastest runner.
24.66 faster than her qualifying time. And the 400, the 200 meters, all the intermittent, the sprint race is Slippery Rock outside that 400. It's been dominated.
Yep. Well, I guess we know what the dominant area is.
By the Rock. You take a look. The man pushing that cart is Ron Seeley, who works up here at the stadium in the field for the university, and Ed Whitehead, who's one of the equipment managers here. I want to make sure we send a special thank you to them for all their help helping us set up our coverage today and all season long, really, whether it be soccer, football, whatever, or when we play football or softball as well. Ed and Ron make sure they take care of us, and Ron's always been especially kind to me and everything, and I want to make sure that they get the recognition and the appreciation they deserve. A lot of the stuff that goes on probably wouldn't be able to happen without those two individuals. So with the 200 down for the women, it's time to turn ourselves to the 200 men, but we have some updates as well, correct?
Yes, we have the 400-meter hurdles for men and women. First, we'll start with the women, and Andy Rose, the junior from Slippery Rock, wins with NCAA she has the meet record now with 1 minute 53. And then Laura Klein from Kutztown, the junior, she got 102 in second place. And Slippery Rock is still pulling away, 173 points, and Lock Haven is the closest with 86.
I think by matter of numbers, I think Slippery Rock has clinched themselves the women's title. Scotty, you got the men?
For the men's 400-meter hurdles, Tony Hedges from Kutztown University Junior ran it in 52.4 and took home the gold. Bernard Richards, a junior from Shippensburg, 53.27, and those two have made it into the NCAA tournament, as well as Nate Shattuck came in third place from Slippery Rock with 53.31, and the team rankings are Shippensburg is still ahead with 144 points. I think it's safe to say that they're going to win this championship. And Slippery Rock is in second place with 113.5, Kutztown with 105.5, and California has moved up to ninth place again with 22 points.
Well, Shippensburg looking to make it 4 straight for the men. Slippery Rock looking to get back on top after they were knocked out by Kutztown last year. Before that, they won the previous 2. But as we get to the 200, you're going to see some familiar names, including California's Bradley Rager in lane 4. He had the top qualifying time, 21.48. Terrell from Shippensburg, also Shane Cooper from Shippensburg, Jamal James, Cyrus Wesley from Cheney. So a lot of the names we talked about earlier. Shane Cooper, I believe, won the 400. Am I correct?
Brad won the 400.
Brad Rager won the
Cooper
400.
won something.
Cooper won. Let me see.
He ran the 100.
Hurdles.
Hurdles? Was it the hurdles?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the hurdles.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Shane Cooper, hurdles.
So this is 200.
Guns up. Runners are at set.
Last year, Brad won this event with a time of 22-1. And we have false start.
No, we had somebody asked to get out of the blocks, so that's not counted as a false start. You just raise your hand, and then everyone's allowed to reset in the blocks.
A misfire. Sounds like our truck.
As the runners reset here.
I think it's weird that we have a 110 hurdle runner in the 200 finals. You don't really see that very often.
Cooper at a time of 22.04. He's in 2, James in 3, Rager 4, Wesley 5. Your winner's going to come from one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Your top 3, I'm guessing, will come from those also.
I am told the shot put final will only make the director's cut of the track championships, with bonus commentary by John McGuire, explaining the physics of the shot put bounce. And demonstration with a softball. Oh, now we are going to air it? All right. Don't get giddy, Smith. Rager looking to make it 2 in a row here.
He will also be competing in the 1,600-meter relay with his 3 other teammates.
And they're up. And there's the gun. It does fire. A bird falls. Take the corner, 150. Silas Weasley ahead.
And here comes Brad.
Final 100 meters. Rager starting to pull in front. Rager and Wesley. And coming out the side, it's going to be Christian. And it's going to be Rager. Rager, Wesley, Christian.
That was a great race. That was very close.
21.46 is the time they're showing. But this one, they may have to... It's Rager, 21.58.
Wow, very, very close. We'll see on the replay what...
Wesley coming in with 21.6. 0.2 of a second behind.
Oh, the lean got him. It matters where your head crosses before where your feet cross, and that's all you got to remember.
First bar.
Gerald Christian from Slippery Rock finishes 3rd, so the Vulcans behind Brad Rager with a couple here. We're going to take one more look at this, and this is probably the closest race we've had all day.
Oh, it was a good. You can see 4 of them were dead even through a good portion of the race. Oh. And we already know, we explained earlier how the numbers are digitally. Thank you. They are locked into the computer. When you cross the finish line, the camera sees it, and it knows who finished first, so it's not wrong.
Well, it's a difference of about 0.04 of a second between 1st and 3rd. That's how close. But congratulations to Brad Rager. 2nd straight year he's won the PSAC 200-meter. When we come back, we're going to take a look at our final 2 events, the men and women's 4x400, the 1,600-meter relay, next here on the PSAC Track Championships on CUTV.
You know, there's a chance you might not know who I am. But I'll give you a clue. I'm famous. Not a chef. I'm no boxer. But neither is he. Ain't no golfer. My fans know who I am. I'm Nelly. And your kids are your biggest fans. So talk to them about underage drinking.
Nelly, we're ready for you.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the 2006 PSAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships here from beautiful Adamson Stadium. Ben Slazek, Scott Flugler, Stephanie Smith. In the interest of time, due to time constraints, we had to skip the men's 5,000 meter and the women's 3,000 meter. We'll get those results on after this, and what we are watching right now is the first heat of the women's 4x400, and I'll let you explain what's going on here.
Okay, what happens is there are too many teams to fit into one heat of the 4x400 relay. So what they do is they break it up into multiple different heats. Now what happens is these three teams, which are Westchester, Mansfield, and California, cannot place higher than third place because they did not compete in the main heat. So if any of the times that we will see here, they get higher than the third place time, they will place third. Even if they get higher than like the second place time, they still will only score third. Now, what the 4x400 is each relay runner runs one lap, comes up to where the finish line is. In between the two blue triangles, they will pass off a baton, and the next person will run another 400 for the rest of the three people that are going on, and that is your 4x400.
California in this heat, as Stephanie mentioned, unfortunately, of all the teams, they are the last. They had the worst qualifying time, and there's a clean toss, and right now ahead it is Mansfield with California and Westchester about even.
And they have, in the 4x400, as you see, Mansfield cuts in right at the orange cones, just like in the 800-meter relay. So everybody gets a fair start on the first leg, and then in the second leg, you're pretty much on your own.
The teams coming in the main heat, the second heat, if you will, Slippery Rock had the fastest overall time, 3:50.92. California, as I mentioned, the worst by numbers was 4:13.46. We're at about 1:40 here to go.
The California runner, though, she looks like she could catch up to the Westchester runner. She has very good strides. They're very open, and she's actually going to try to take it.
We don't have the names of the individuals in the 4x400, so unfortunately we won't be able to tell you exactly who it is other than their team. But Mansfield is a good, I'd say, 40 meters in front of everybody as far as the exchanges go and whatnot.
This is just for, oftentimes if you have a team that isn't in the main race, you have freshmen or sophomores that normally don't get to compete, that get to run in this to get some experience.
And Mansfield way ahead here by about 30 meters, and then about a 20-meter difference between second and third. Been a good day for California as it is, however, with Brad Rager winning a couple firsts. And Slippery Rock has been the other story. They've been very dominant, as has Lockhaven, and I think who else? Kutztown has had a very good day as well.
Yeah, it's overall been a very good meet. It's been enjoyable for all of us, I know, and it's been a great experience to have.
Coming up on the final leg, the anchor leg of this 4x400 or 1600. 3 minutes the exchange takes place. This is the final leg, and the California runner.
California's going to have a good 100 meters to catch up to for this. But like I said, it's just it's like practice. It just builds up a little bit more for your team for next year.
So Mansfield, the best they could do is if they do put in a good time, which is their number looks like it's not going to be bad here, they may be able to place third overall. With about 100 meters to go, they're at 3:45. Slippery Rock's top score was 3:50 yesterday, so it's going to be tough for Mansfield to sneak into that top three.
But a very good time for in a second heat by Mansfield.
4:01. That's 8 seconds better than they ran yesterday.
Very good time.
Westchester comes in around 4:07, which is better than they had, about 6 seconds better than yesterday. And California will just come up the rear, and they're over by about 4 seconds they did yesterday, but that's that. Now we'll have time for the second heat, the main heat, if you will.
And here they come jogging down the track.
Slippery Rock, they pretty much sewed up the women's team title, unless my numbers are completely crazy, and there's new math that I'm not familiar with. They should take home their third in the last 4 years. Kutztown was #1 last year, and before that, Slippery Rock owned the previous years in 04 and 03. And they'll have lane 1 here as we have the 4x400 main event, if you will.
We have the 2 races that we skipped, the men's 5,000 meters. We have the freshman phenomenon Jeff Weiss from Slippery Rock University, who's finished first and got the gold there in a time of 14:42. And in the women's 3,000 meter run, we have Erin Richard from Clarion University.
She won a race earlier today.
Yes, with a time of 10:05. I think she won the women's 5,000 or the 1,500 meters.
Yeah, she took the 1,500 and 3,000 meter title.
Maybe between the 2 races here, we can run back and recap a couple of the some of the other winners for today.
And in the women's team rankings, Slippery Rock is ahead by almost a clear 100 points. So they wrap that up in the men's team rankings. Shippensburg is 162, Slippery Rock 132, and Kutztown 105. And California has moved up to the 8th spot with 32 points.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the main heat of the women's 4x400 right here on CUTV.
Loggerheads, the area's best in casual dining and entertainment. Loggerheads features cold drinks of every variety and a complete lineup of salads, sandwiches, gourmet pizzas, and nightly dinner specials. Loggerheads also offers daily food and drink specials, coffee, and dessert items. Or try our Sunday breakfast buffet available until 2 p.m. At night, you and your friends can enjoy local entertainment or various bar games. Loggerheads is located in Cole Center, 5 blocks from the California Business District.
Don't be fooled by imitators. We're talking the real deal here. Accords and Civics in stock, in style, and ready to move. Don't settle for less. Step up to Honda Odyssey, the ideal family vehicle. And don't let yourself down. The rugged and functional new Pilot, the Honda of SUVs. Get the vehicle you want at the price you want from a dealer you know. Washington Honda.
Dynamite deals right here today. Come on in, you're #1.
Stephanie Smith with you, and it's the 4x400. We saw the preliminary heat, if you will. Mansfield had the top time around 4 minutes, 5 seconds, I believe is what it was. But the best they can do is finish third, and we have a couple of the top teams in the country, including East Stroudsburg in the top 20 in lane 2. It'll be Slippery Rock, East Stroudsburg, Kutztown, Lockhaven, IUP, Ship, Millersville, and Clarion 1 through 8. Slippery Rock had a 3:50.92 total yesterday to qualify. Clarion the worst of the 8, 4 minutes, 4 seconds. And this is one of the premier events, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody waits for the end of the meet to be the 4x400. Everybody in the stands will be standing, and it's just a great event to be a part of.
And we're underway. 4 full laps, an exchange at the finish line. Last year, this championship was won by Kutztown, then Ship, then IUP. All of them qualified. Talked about how Slippery Rock is dominating the women's with almost 200 points. Last year, Kutztown won the team event with only 93.5 points. So,
well, that's a big difference from this year.
Slippery Rock had 83. It's a lot closer and a lot more spread out. Not so much the case this year.
As you see, the crowd starts to stand.
Slippery Rock won the 4x100 in near record time. They're, however, a little back, and it's Shippensburg that'll be the first to exchange.
Actually, it looked like Indiana, Shippensburg, and Slippery Rock got off at the same time. But Indiana's starting to take away with it.
The runner from Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, is also on their basketball team.
Oh.
I can't place the face or the name, but
there's Slippery Rock, and Indiana, well, got a good kick on that.
Yes, and she's coming around now. About 200 meters to go on this leg. The second leg, we're at a 130 clip. Sierra Cornelius, thank you.
Normally your second leg of if any relay is your slower leg, but this is a very fast second leg of a 4x400.
It's a little quicker than the first one, actually. And it's Slippery Rock 1, IUP 2. And East Stroudsburg, yeah.
Shippensburg 4, Lock Haven, and Kutztown coming in 5-6. Clarion and Millersville to fill out the field.
And it's Slippery Rock with about a 10-meter lead over IUP, and then there's Stroudsburg. 250 meters to go, 650 total.
Slippery Rock is so dominant on the women's side. It's really weird. That's incredible.
Their men have not done bad at all today either. Shippensburg's just been a little better.
Slippery Rock's men are currently in second place. So
there's a 30-point difference, but that's not a whole lot if you think about it. 1 and 2 respectively. It's not a bad number. A little bit bigger lead for Slippery Rock, and they're looking for a lot of firsts today.
I think that's the hurdle. The girl who won the 110, the 100 and 400 hurdles.
Andy Rose.
I think we got a mother
yes.
next to the mic. Oh, she just opened that up almost.
And this race is over.
This race is coming down to the end here with Slippery Rock in front, IUP at second. East Stroudsburg getting passed right there by Kutztown. Shippensburg.
There's a race for second right now.
Race for second. Kutztown coming up the back.
Oh, wow. Kutztown came out of
Is that Lock Haven?
No, that's Kutztown passing IUP for the...
So Slippery Rock, Kutztown, IUP, and Stroudsburg. 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's Slippery Rock. Now you're looking at numbers. They're at 334. The record is 350.
Oh, they're going to break it if she hurries.
The PSAC record is 350.92, and she's going to break that.
She's going to break it. Congratulations, Slippery Rock.
A conference record, 348.
Kutztown comes in a close second.
IUP Stroudsburg will close as close as they can do it.
Close. That was a great race.
You know what? Kutztown, their number wasn't bad either. So we'll wait for the official time for Slippery Rock to see exactly how bad they demolished that record. 348.09. Wow. 2.5 seconds plus. They already broke the record earlier this year. Wreckage, Gardner, Rose, and Sofer. And they did it again. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the final event of the day, the men's 4x400 PSAC Track Championships here on CUTV.